Hello everyone and welcome back to some WARNO League action. As we already covered Division 2, 3 and 1 really quite a bit now with the quarterfinals. Already finished Division 1 in the quarterfinals. Now time to move on. And we are moving on to Division 2 where we have some interesting players coming around as well. We have DotSpy and Polnyskill, both players that have come up quite well in tournament play lately. DotSpy and also really high on the ranking, and both here coming in quite strong. DotSpy being on without a loss in the series so far. Polnyskill here lost the tiebreaker against bottom feeder, so that's why he's here in that form. And then we have later SBG versus Liszek, which will be an interesting one as well. Picks and bans here for the first game are interesting as well. We gonna have a first guards versus the Rhine game here coming up first. Well, that's okay. Okay. They might have done it the wrong way around. So they have named them the game 1, 2, 3. We have the Rhine versus the Motostralkis here first. Okay, maybe there was a bit of a naming mishap here, but that is still going to be interesting. Interesting picks and bans nonetheless, as we have the Rhine versus the First Gods Motostralki division here coming around. So this should be an interesting one. The Rhine here on the left side for DotSpy. We have Polnyskill on the right side coming around with the new first darts tank Motostralki division that has some interesting stuff. It has the new Attacker missiles, has a lot of unmodernized T-72s, some with bad armor, some with good armor, but all with the bad 1925 meter range. Still all good enough to beat what the French get as tanks. They get some AML-90s, they get some AMX-13s with old missiles and some M47s, so really a lot of old stuff. AML-90s here coming around in the south of this as well, so this all should be pretty interesting. See how this plays out, because the infantry focus of the Rhine means that you kind of want to escalate around Charlie. You can maybe play a bit of an ATGM spam against the short-range T-72s in the middle and hold them off of Alpha with ATGM spam as well from your AMX-13s and from just in general a good amount of normal ATGMs as well. So this will be quite exciting. The infantry of the Rhine, in my eyes, is not quite good enough for the kind of division that it wants to be. It's neither quite spammy enough nor quite qualitatively high enough. They have some decent units, but none of them really fine. So this should be an interesting one. But on the right side, we get MP2 so far for the start. And just gonna make sure. No, okay, I obviously forgot to unpause. And there we are again. That was like nothing moved here in a while. It'll be interesting to see how this gets around. Let's reserve eclairs moving forward. The old LRAC 73. Pretty low range, pretty low penetration, so those are not that great, but it's a 20-point recon unit with an AT, which is really, really cheap for a recon unit with an AT. So they are still pretty decent in that regard. Coming in a small truck for 25 points with optics as well. Then we have a good couple of these 30mm launchers, and now we have the first couple of AMX-13s here coming around with the old SS-11 missiles. Decent range actually on those things, but bad accuracy, pretty bad penetration as well. Better than the Milan, but yeah, better than a Milan 1, but the accuracy is pretty low. It's relatively slow flying missile as well. So those things really are there to zone out the enemy T-72s and then maybe give a bit of fire support with the main gun against enemy APCs, like the BTR-60s, maybe fight a BRM 1K or so. You have smoke at least on them, so there is some utility there, and you can get out quite a lot of them because they only cost 50 points, 55 points of this modernized variant, which we get with one vet here. The other one coming in at 0 vet. One nice one has slightly better fire control, gets them with 10% more accuracy. SS11s. And yeah, some decent cannons moving around. Well, it has, like, this way around, they're relatively close to BMP2 in that regard. But they have lower frontal armor as well, Termi. They get killed by a Fagot or Milan 1 themselves. They are pretty slow. So, yeah, the autoloader cannon is interesting. I don't believe they're that amazing. They are not bad. Like, because they are so cheap and so spammable, and the RTJM is some utility, but it's also only 19 pen, not quite 20 pen, so they don't deal as much damage as well, and it's a slow missile. So it's a weird little loadout there. We have the reservist sappers moving around, Milan here coming in as well, and we have a lot of forces for the south. We have one of the normal T-72s here on the other side. These are the perfect targets. They don't have smoke. And for 15 frontal armor, they at least also take a bit of damage per hit there. So this could be interesting as well. Mi-24V, that's quite scary for all the vehicle. We have Fliegerfaust coming up. We don't get the Mistrals in Durine. The 30mm are quite decent against helicopters. They get decent helicopter range. So the Mi-24 has to be a bit careful about them. But ML90 here and the Fuchs, Aufklärungspanzer Fuchs with the Jägeraufklärers has to be careful. Gets through actually. The Jägeraufklärer getting through. AML90 though doesn't. Next AML90 already under fire. Kills there as well. Modvacheta go down at least on the other side. BO105 gets shut down as well. The Mirage has to come in here. And doesn't quite do the job. Osa at least does fail to do it here right now as well. AML90 does get another BTR. Mi-24 does go down. Big push here from both sides into the forest. Kill on 2 Modvachvetka in transport is pretty big. Su-17 with rockets moving around. Gets some good hits. Actually kills the Mirage. Okay. It's the fighter after all. Oh, the Mirage 2000C there getting bullied. iHawk at least gets it back with a crit, one-shotting the Su-17 as well. Storm going down here to the AML-90. That goes down now too. It's a really, really bloody battle here, but so far with, in the end, then still better engagements here for DotSpy with the kill against the Su-22. Redeeming his air and has gotten rid of a good couple of forces. The T-72 here is now in a decent spot. Might want to move around to shoot and then run away once the HGM's getting close. Currently not having the line of sight yet to do so. The 30mm already getting dealt with, but a BMP2 down here going down as well to some of these AMX-13s that try to move through the forest. Yeah, all of them moving around, getting on top of the Polnyskill with their autoloader cannons. Quickest reload for any tank gun with 12 rounds per minute because it's only 75mm. Having okay rounds for that, but it's penetrating rounds. So it has to be able to penetrate to use its gun. So it's only really useful against really light tanks or APCs and IFVs. The main gun itself likely will not fire against anything with armor. First AMX-13 here on the side goes down. The other bunch under fire as well. Having to disengage. 24 here with the Ataka. Pretty overkill. The 25 penetration missile here, doing way more than necessary to deal with these little tanky boys. Whilst the north is captured by DotSpy. DotSpy on a +1. Here M1 under fire. Mi-24 ES goes down. And we have a Mirage 3E coming around. Going after the Mi-24. It lands though, and the OSA goes to town. Mirage pushed away. Does survive. Good micro there by Polnyskill. On the helicopter. Polnyskill moving south here now. Trying to get on top of these AMX-13s. Modredredka are around. Here I am under attack. Not sure it's the smoke. It's not smoking right now, so likely doesn't have smoke anymore. Might be able to break line of sight here in time. No, it is not. Gun gets it in the end here. Maddie's really good here. 17 penetration, exactly enough to kill an AMX-13, so that's pretty good. T-72 here. Can be good because its gun does a lot of damage. M48, high much M48. Moving around here now. Gets outclassed by the T-72 heavily as well though. So it goes down too. There's a couple more units here. Going down. Conquerors has come around. Fires some missiles around. Don't quite get the hit there. A lot of BTR-60. With the Motostrelky RPG-7 VS. Brought around the Conquerors as well. Those are the normal... Oh no, there are some reserved BTR-60 here as well. Yeah, those are the cheaper ones for 20 points. They still come with a heavy MG. And they lose one MG for 5 points though. One medium machine gun. That is a fine trade. And then 5 points more because of reservists. So you only pay 20 points for them. It's quite nice. BTR is going down, but so does an AMX. Polnyskill needs to clear out the south here. DotSpy on the other side still continues to get up away with the +1 right now. And that's a problem. Okay, that seems to be a bit of an attempt of a push in the north, but I still believe the south here might be the better space to do it. Osa trying to push away the Mirage. Does not quite do that. But T-72 here on going to town. One or two more of those in the next couple of minutes as fire support would be big. They are really good at that. 7.6 meter MG gets grinded away here. PR-60 PB helping out. Another Milan 1 does arrive on the front line. There's no artillery here on the battlefield yet. T1 engaging the reservists. Storms with attackers would be overkill. That's why we see the normal storms here, actually, in this matchup. And we have a 150mm gun. No. Those are the older ones, though. Those are basically World War II, or not quite World War II, but Algeria vintage. Old guns from the French. Nowhere near as good as the ones that you get in 6 Liszek with the assisted loading. The MP1 engaging the M48. M48 able to get away there now. And we have an Alpha Jet cluster coming in. But with the OSA, that's really risky. Has 10% ECM. And the 10-8% ECM actually make it work. T-72 goes down and OSA doesn't get the kill here. Lucky times for the Alpha Jet. Getting away with murder. Artillery aiming for the CV here now in the north as well. Let's stop the take. MP2s and BMP1s assisting fire against all the infantry as well. We have a Milan 1 ready for the south. Quite the matchup we got here. Not gonna lie. As The Persi under fire as well. BMP1 moving forward. B24P can come around here from the rear as well. Unit goes down here on the front line. They have a T-72 just firing away on the enemy reservists, firing away against the Persi, but it's still only one of them. The fire support of a T-72 for 130 points is quite solid. Has a decent HE gun, has a 12.7mm MG that does some solid extra damage as well, and can take a hit or two from enemy infantry AT and also from enemy ATGMs. Does not get line of sight here, so that's a bit of an issue. Fliegerfaust gets on top of the Mi-24P as well. Is reloading, does not get the hit there. T-72 though might go down. A lot of missiles coming after it, and there we finally have a kill. As the Mi-24 still needs to get away further. Fliegerfaust number 2 might actually get a shot off here. As the supply truck did go down. There we go. Fliegerfaust, and it does get the kill this time around. Helicopter going down. Hind down. We have more T-72s moving in for a self to assist with the fire support, but it's a really interesting little matchup here. Conquerors fails to hit anything. No artillery on the battlefield for Polnyskill, so can't just bombard the enemy away. You get pretty basic artillery, but you get Acacias, get a Krat in the deck, so you can do artillery work on the normal level that you would expect out of a Motostrelki division with this deck. And might be time to start trying to do so. Well, it's down in the south currently. MP1s, Bulmachikis and co. engaging together with the new T-72. Fire support getting some decent hits. Storm once more going down. Milan there in a good spot. Saperi able to unload a good amount of M48s. Yeah, wherever Polnyskill goes, there is a decent amount of AT already saying hello. And he really needs to get something to keep the enemy out of the zone. Some artillery or some other interesting play. BMP2s obviously could be helpful with that as well. The BTR-60 unfortunately don't have smoke, so they can't toy around with that. Because we have another Alpha Jet coming around. But there is an Osa in the north, there is an Osa in the center, so it might actually get its clusters dropped off. It likely is going to die doing so. Well, MP1 gets involved here in the south. Motostrelki moving around, kill achieved. 2 7.6mm MGs going down in transport. Perry going down as well. We have the M47 dozers. And no tank in the north. No T-72 up here. So the dozers outweigh the enemy. There are 2 BMP2s, but they want to fire from further away with the ATGMs. They don't want to get into gun range here. Alpha Jet goes down now as well. It's T-72. Tries its best against the Jäger Panzerfaust. ML90 moving up as well. New Alpha Jet cluster moving around. Jäger does go down. Ammo explosion against the T-72. Tries its best here. Gets a kill against the ML90 as well. Alpha Jet now without line of sight, so that's a bit of a problem here for DotSpy. Might still do the run. No, stays away from now. Also not in range. We have 155mm from the French hitting towards the Osa. And the Osa should move, is not moving right now. So that likely is going down. Osa goes up in flames. Northern zone. We don't see a tick here yet either for Polnyskill. So 278 points here. It is for now for DotSpy. That will likely won't be the final point value that gets a victory here. Likely either of the two players should be able to get a bit more than that amount of points, but for now, 26 minutes still remaining. There is a bit of a slow game, but there is some real action here nonetheless. ATGM tries to go after the supply units, failed to actually get a hit. We have the Sturmattacke, as I said before. Bit overkill here in this kind of matchup. You would expect something slightly lighter. Like the normal Attacke makes a bit more sense here, as it still damages the heavier tanks on the other side, whilst one-shotting all the AMX-13s. And with the faster missiles, you have some advantage there as well. The Acacia failing to kill the Eyehawk here. And the T-72 pushed back by ATGM. BMP-1 tried to get some kills down here. Does fail to do so. M47 in fights with BMP-2s in the north. One of the BMP-2s already going down. T-72s moving around here. One M47, one BMP-2 going down. The Motosalkis with the decent mid-level power RPG-7 VS pushing around, trying to get some good RPG shot, and they do get one done immediately and going after the enemy. But two T-72s going down, both in the south here, going down within a couple of seconds. Reservisti Führer in the north going down, and the Alpha Jet is coming for the kill, but it's not quite getting its bomb drop off. Only one bomb dropped, and it was a bit short. So +1 is back in business, but at least the Alpha Jet's number reduced a bit, meaning that you don't need that much AA here coming around again. So the T-72 number being reduced again, stopping it from just becoming an absolute one. As we have AMX-13 moving around, pushing forward with the Stralky RPG. And we have the Mirage 3E flying in the rear. I'm at M48s moving forward. The 155mm artillery trying to shoot up north, trying to get all the units up there. No CV here to get the point for Polnyskill right now. With AMX-13, T-72, T-75, PCM, the old 75mm gun here, still holding out. I would like to see the second Acacia for these town sieges here relatively soon as well. The French AA in this with the Eyehawks can be quite decent, but the Eyehawk already going down, so there is a bit of room for some potential strikes with aircraft here as well. But the T-72s still would be the key component of any push. Motostralky going down, so Perry bites the dust as well. We have big kills still on both sides, or high numbers of kills. It's not really big kills because neither side has a unit that is really worth anything of bigger proportions. As I said, that we have one of the better T-72s around, 205 points, because this thing actually has quite solid capabilities. It only has 2,100 meter range, but that's still better than your other ones, and it has 70 frontal armor, it has smoke, and 11 hit points thanks to the era. And it absolutely decimates the enemy infantry here together with the Saperi. Oh my, DotSpy's infantry just completely evaporates, and has to be careful now that he doesn't get caught out with the reservists. They unload in time. TB might go down here. Truck goes down. RPG-7 VS pushing forward. T-72 getting into the engagement. Very bulky M47 Dozer gets hit CV goes down as well. But the Strelkeys doing a really solid job there. Getting another RPG on target. As they get routed. But there they go. M47 down. Alpha Jet trying to make it. That we will for the first time see Polnyskill starting the tick here. Whilst M48's under attack in the south. Reservists under fire here too. Whilst we have 105mm artillery trying to make a bit of a dent, but this was an important break here for Polnyskill. Getting the control over the zone. A +1 already would be enough, but this launching area now secured. There can be a bit more maneuvering as well. Either you just spam ATGMs into the zone to make it hard for the enemy to ever come in, or you even try to push out of it towards Alpha to the southern zone here. So this should be interesting. Artillery aiming for T-72s here in the north. Getting some hits. Dozer gets hit by the BMP-2. Close fight here once more. Stun is out. And another T-72 bites the dust up here as well. The T-72 and T-72 AV doing a good job. The AV here so far, maybe already MVP for Polnyskill. And M48s have to run away. Having a smoke, pretty helpful as well against this many 80 gems. But currently DotSpy doesn't even have that many. Brings around some AMX-13 with a 20mm out cannon on top for the chasseurs. A couple more Jäger Carl Gustav coming up. A couple more M48s. And Polnyskill has to be careful to not get pushed out of the zone in the north. And blue side could make that a big fortress relatively easily. Artillery aiming up north. Starting to get some hits there. Reservists going down. Very slowly moving forward in the south. But won't move out of this town here. Most likely. So DotSpy can still entrench a bit further. And only needs to stop the tick here. But with 250 points. This is still questionable if that's going to be enough. MX-30 moving forward. Obviously would like to get into the northern zone or so. The T-72 here getting hit quite hard. T-72 getting into the engagement. Yes, sir. Trying to get an LREC on target. Whilst we have a good couple of M47s and M48s now pushing in. Only the T-72 that is half hit points here as a tank, but two more coming in from the south. I like that movement here. Polnyskill, 1 AV is still around here. Needs to break line of sight. Belojor under fire. Osa does go down. Me-24 PS, Me-14 PS Recon trying its best. T-72 getting some solid shots out. Whilst we have a pretty solid picket line. This is a really solid picket line with the M48s, 1 Milan 2. Obviously some AMX-13s with 80 gems would have been even nicer behind that, but I believe a lot of them have been used up by now. Because all your units are so cheap, you go through cards quite quickly with this deck. Not Stakatsias getting involved here. Heimat, M48 goes down. Belojor on the other side. It's got as well. see Yakatsia aiming up again, trying to get some decent damage in there, but currently it's infantry traits that, thanks to the fire support, go DotSpy's way up here, but no real movement in the south. Points are half currently for Polnyskill compared to the points that our player in blue has on the scoreboard. But still, in the end, it's not a lot. Have the two artillery guns trying to aim for the T-72, trying to get the kill there. As I said before, can't smoke, so other tanks could take advantage of the situation, as it might not quite go down, so with the good hits here, it even might just do that. With the Spelky versus Jäger, Carl Gustav just sitting it out there. T-72's once more biting the dust. The rate of losses on the T-72, yes, they are replaceable, but they are not free, so you for sure at least want to get a bit more value out of them. Against the M48s and M47s, they haven't really done much here. Medi's getting some damage, and the south is secure. There are enough forces for Polnyskill to not get pushed out of here by DotSpy, but DotSpy only needs to hold the north to get on to the next game. Only needs to keep this going 14 more minutes. With a +2, it would be 2.5 minutes before Polnyskill would overtake. Obviously, double as much with only a +1. So, still time for that, but it is getting narrower, the timing that you actually can get back here. And the T-72 AV goes down just like the Jaegers, just like a couple of recon units and AT units on the blue side, but killing off the T-72 AV, taking away the tank with smoke from the enemy in this matchup is still pretty significant. As very bulky holding the line, the T-72 AV gun. Amount of supply units now. Recon. Not that much recon around here in the south, so both sides don't exactly what they have. But each does start to go into the next level. Falling back to the high risers. As BMP2 does get got. 7.6mm MGs. Moving forward, BTR 60 PB goes down, BMP2 goes down, but the trades here, I still believe they're going blue way, even when the blue side is getting kills like this here. Like, a lot of it is cheap placement stuff, like the reserve AA and AANF 7.6mm MG. Well, Stiger up fast before and go. Round BMP2 getting finally some kill here. Getting finally some kills on the enemy rear before they can unload. So this should be something that our player in red can take advantage of. With a bit more infantry, especially if he gets these repaired. B24 has a decent ATGM. Rocket hits the Panzerfaust. But yeah, ATGM can come after more enemies here. Mirage moving around, does go down. Also retaliating, but failing to get the kill. T-72 AV fails to do so as well, so Perry do go down too. Whilst the T-72 AV forced to be moving back to resupply, and the other AA, they're all dying. To AV, slowly pushing forward. Trying to get to the town. The AVs have done well. The normal T-72s, not quite as much. Good smoke there by the enemy. As the 5mm is trying to go for town. Three. Really slowing down right now, the game. 10 minutes remaining. Point-wise though, with the +1, Polnyskill is about to overtake the whole position here. So DotSpy will need to find a way of getting 2 points. Maybe could do a deep push in the south. Maybe could do a push in the north. The northern zone is really under protected on the other side, and even only keeping a +3 for a couple of minutes, like 1 or 2 minutes, would derail the enemy's ambitions here by a lot. Points in a couple of seconds about to be equal. MX coming around, obviously sniping the CV, always an option here as well to stop that, but now he would have a victory for Polnyskill. He is ahead in points now. Usas getting to engage the Mirages, getting a decent hit, forcing them back as the Acacia is moving around, trying to get some accurate shots there on target. Now the Acacia slowly moving up, and both of the artillery pieces should be able to deal some havoc, but DotSpy already going on the aggression is not where the artillery believes him to be. We have another T-72 AV there around in the north. No normal T-72s in a bit. ATGMs finds a good in. With the VP2 moving in as well. Ruta does go down, but the grind on both sides is great. The Ulsa here really not having a day, that is true. The cluster bombers getting through with it. T-72 though, the AV having a good day. The normal T-72 is also not having their best. The Reservisti here with the LRAX, they don't really have the penetration to deal with these guys, so they can just keep on giving fire support. Osa getting a shot out against the BO-105. Does finally get the kill there. More fire support here in general. Point lead is above a minute now on +1. 8 minutes remaining. T-72s keep up the pressure. BMP2s and Rutas around on the sideline as well. And yeah, the DotSpy might have to look for a different solution for the problem, as just getting back the north is not going to be enough either. That just will stop the tick. Needs still to get some points elsewhere. There might still be some playing room for the north. There might still be some room to play around the south, but neither of these two things are attempted right now. That it's a relatively classic head-on battle. MP2s and MX-13s trading once more. We have Pulmachiki getting pushed by the reservist Sapeurs. T-72 AV does get hit. Ruta getting involved here. Gets a kill against some more MX-13s. 72 currently not getting repaired. A lot of Osas that get all smoked. We have another T-72 AV here in the south. Both sides not really knowing where the enemy CV is at. As we hear... Oh, what the hell happened? Oh, a CV got in. Belgior sneaked through the south. That's a +3 right now. That's an absolute disaster for DotSpy. Oh, DotSpy is in trouble here. That pick will likely get the enemy too far ahead. There is now a CV coming up, but only 6 minutes. DotSpy really needs to find a way of getting something into the north and maybe try to go past the enemy here in the south as well. Like, just let this thing drive. Maybe get a couple of seconds into the enemy rear as well. But you need to find a way of moving into the enemy rear zone here in the north. This zone is not it right now. You need to pivot here as DotSpy. And the pivot of the division currently not happening. We have a big artillery piece instead, but that artillery piece is not going to achieve all that much. And by now the separation is over 200 points and ticking. And yeah, +1 only 40 minutes points per minute, so that already wouldn't be enough to change that. Even a +2 would only get close. A +4 on the other hand, that's only 2 minutes, or not even quite that, with 160 points per minute. The LRM with its cluster ammunition here, going after the space it is going after, killing more OSAs, is not hitting the wrong spot here per se, but it's not going to achieve anything of major importance. AMX-13s go down as well, more reinforcements coming in. +1 does continue as T-72 AVs fail to get the hit. KRM-2000 logistics goes down as well. But the Spelkies trying to hold the line, reservist suppers going down as well, and yeah, the Rhine just maybe not quite making it wide enough here. Like, the fight for Bravo at the beginning was solid and keeping the whole part of the north. It was relatively obvious that it would eventually be pushed out. I like the defensive setup around this, but yeah, this maybe was lost a bit too quickly, and then not playing this forest here, I believe, is a big mistake. That playing this forest could have enabled something into the rear here, and now we are quite far ahead for the player in red. 350 points separation with only 4 minutes remaining. This is not going to go DotSpy's way here in this game. So we'll see Mirages moving around. LRM getting another shot out. Will maybe get some more kills here against the attackers. Gets the T-72 AV over here with artillery fire. Like, all of this is good, but the movement wasn't quite where it needed to be to really get some more points. And once the +1 started from the enemy, you did as DotSpy figure out a way of getting here, basically. Like, this grind either needed better artillery on the enemy CV, like just sniping the CV. That could have been an okay option as well, but that didn't really happen either. And these 155mm artillery pieces, yeah, they're only relatively mediocre. Have now some infantry pushing, but by now there is a decent amount of fortification here by Polnyskill, and there is also still a +1 here. The 400 points difference now. 3.5 minutes remaining here in the game. SU-17 gets hit, and yeah, the Rhine, it just needs a buff or 2 more. Like, the light vehicles, the spam is really strong. Neff, for example, has had some great successes. I believe its infantry tab just could use a buff or 2 to really get it where it needs to be, and currently it's not quite there yet. On a good way, but it's not quite there yet, and that Polnyskill is currently on the way to victory here. 400 points and a bit more. CV is now being bought, but that's way too late. In 2 minutes, it's not going to get anywhere. Artillery skill coming around as well. Artillery getting in the south. 5mm doing a decent job. Gigapanzerfaust in the line. And there we go. GG is called. And Polnyskill does take the game here with a small lead in KD, but just no pushing power here for the Rhine. It's not a pushing division. Like, it's the division that wants to get a bit of space early on and did that, and then just find a way and avoid the enemy with cheaper stuff. But an exploitation of areas with just a lot of cheap stuff being thrown at it, that didn't happen here. And with that, the game won here. Going to Polnyskill. So we're gonna go into a short break, guys, and then we're gonna be back with game number 2. So here we go. Game number 2. And DotSpy playing around the weird again. The weird French light infantry. As we're gonna go in the 152nd Infantry Division this time around. A relatively similar division what we saw last game. Has AMX-13s, but the ones with the 90mm gun. It has a couple of light vehicles as well. Some special forces infantry in here with the commander layer. I would argue the slightly better strike aircraft, but a bit weaker fighters and the weaker AA vehicles. But on the other side of Polnyskill, we have the interesting Dutch division as well that has a pretty solid mix of infantry units and tanks as well with CLKA. Some reservist infantry, some normal infantry, Nantre, and the normal infantry. The Nantres coming around, Nantres coming around here with the law and 9 hit points for 35 and firepower here. The normal infantry coming around with a bit better weapon here with the Carl Gustav for 50 points. And then we also add the classic Amor 13 of the Dutch with the Hurricane, the CNV, that can do good jobs as well. You get 2 cars of the Leo 2A4Bs in the deck, and a good couple of the Leopard 1V, which is a mid-tier Leopard, 2100 range, 18 penetration there. Nice frontal armor too, so one of the better Leopards as well. On a map that is a bit better for this weird infantry division though, as it has a lot of space for all your cheap stuff to go, some nice forests as well. So gonna be interesting to see what the 152nd E can do here. Before we jump in, quick shout out to the Matcherino page where you guys can assist the tournament directly with the claim code button, adding free money to the prize pool. And all you have to do is go to the link, click the claim code button, log in with any account whatsoever. You add free money to the prize pool for free. A good couple of you already did so. Thanks to my answer. Get around as well. And we get around as well. So this should be interesting. And then we now get into the action. BIBs moving around. What? Flume? What is your other Twitch account's name then? Commandos, Claire moving around. Claire coming in as well. Yo 105 slowly moving in here. VIPs slowly forward as well. Having decent AA capabilities here against helicopters, so the minigun Yo 105s getting shut down. And the commander layer taking some aggressive spaces. BIB decently helpful as infantry support as well. Doesn't have any AP capabilities in their 20mm rounds, so can't deal with the CNV. But down in the south here, the VIBs doing a similarly good job. The Bacchaners get pretty shredded by the Special Forces infantry here, being pushed away. The commander layer with a lot of good traits and decent weapons loader as well. The Wasp is relatively weak, but the Mini-Me and the Sniper Rifle giving you a decent combination of firepower with enough manpower as well. So that the commandos on the other side that can come around for PLKA, they can compete with this, but the normal infantry of the Dutch cannot. And yeah, there we go. Commando is an 11-man squad with a sniper rifle and 2 medium machine guns. So 1v1 they will fight and win against the commander layers. So interesting engagements here coming up. The VIB can assist in this fight. Just has to find a way to do so. Plus we have Leos on the side, MR13 CNV going down to the Milan 1. DotSpy taking some good ground here, taking some good ground in the south as well. Using the terrain with the lighter infantry division here in a good setup here up north too, but the Polnyskill has found a good picket line there of defensive units. The issue here is really more in the south. There more VIBs come around, or the VIBs are moving around. ML90 trying to assist from the hill. The Masserine, the Resolute infantry, pretty solid as well with the LRAX, and more light vehicles here making the way to the front line, where Panzer cannons get under fire as well. VIBs trying to rotate around, and so far, 152nd is doing what it needs to do. The question is just, can it keep up that momentum? The Dutch have pretty efficient combined arms as well, and they are just the heavier division. They even have the fantastic M110 artillery pieces. So that is going to be interesting as well once we get around for that. Well, the AML90s here try to get around. Another Leo 1V bites the dust. The Milan 1s here doing a lot of work. Have a good couple of people here engaging as well. TV got the middle for a bit. Point-wise, DotSpy hasn't really done it yet. Still needs a CV for the south to get a take on there for real. Is pushing back the enemy YP here. M113 and Leo 1 not wanting to engage there right now. Okay, M113 now getting involved. VIP here finally goes down. Good picket line here in the south. Centurions coming around. Those out are really efficient in what they do, and allowing them to really efficiently outclass the enemy light vehicles like the AML90. Like the AML90 can't one-shot it and will get one-shotted in return by the 17 penetration gun here. So this is the dream here for Polnyskill. That is a really efficient tank that you can get quite a lot of onto the battlefield. Against Milan 1s, they don't do so well, because they are relatively slow. Like, not relatively slow, they are the slowest tank that we currently have in WARNO. Slowest MBT with 35 km/h off-road. So they will struggle to get away once the enemy gets to fire upon them. But the staying power of them is really good. ML90 now getting involved. Defensive cannons, commandos moving around. Pushing on. Side shots here happening. More Milans. This is the commandos get hit and lit up by a lot of firepower here as well. The Sabere, a special forces AA gun, which is quite weird and gives them a good bit more damage output than the average 20mm. Really enabling to go to town. Centurion now getting involved as well. First one already down. Commandos at least able to disengage here. But we have a Phantom AA versus a Mirage 3 down here. Oh, the Phantom turning badly. They are Eyehawks as well. The Phantom is a good fighter, and the Mirage is not. So the Mirage fails to hit twice here. Will now be under attack by the enemy and get pushed back. The stressed out Phantom takes a while, but does the job in the end. Does the job once more against the Alpha Jet, just immediately deleting it. Another Mirage coming around, but the 20% ECM versus the 40% base accuracy missile here that the French get around. is doing it. And the Mirage 3E not getting any hits here. We have the first M110 out as well. Those are the scary things. And that's why I'm a bit worried that DotSpy not getting a CV a bit earlier in here might have similar issues than in the last game. That he gets pushed back later on, gets pushed out. So this is going to be interesting. Is the Phantom 2 moving around against the Alouette. Rotel gets a good hit. Mirage on the other side gets one-shotted by the Eyehawk. Rotel gets another shot out. Cannot retaliate, so Polnyskill once more with good trades, but the CV does finally arrive here and pushes back the Centurion. Centurion gets pushed out of there and gets forced to fall back. Centurion under fire. Mando to get prepared here as well. Centurion Mark 5 once more trying to push over the open field. One of them gets hit. The lack of recon here for Polnyskill is annoying. A lot of the recon is stretched out around the flanks, so there might not be that much more recon around. The M110 failing to... Oh no, got the Milan 1 there, I believe. Yeah, got the Milan 1 there. There's nothing was left anymore. There is a lot of infantry here for DotSpy that still holds the line in the center, so grinding through this won't be that easy. Getting a foothold to get a CV in might be easier. Leo 1 goes down as another helicopter gets shot down by another Phantom. Another time, the Mirage 3 will try. Another time it will fail with its first missile, will fail with its second missile. Rotel fails as well, and there we go. Unit gets out again. Centurion goes down, just as a Milan goes down as well. Mirage gets eye-hawked again. Oh boy. Yeah, the Air Force of the French not having a great day here so far. Because we have, once more, AMX-13s. This time around, the 90mm variant coming around in numbers. Well, it's the commandos on the other side trying to hold the line. Hey there, Ghost Cup. Welcome. We all were bad at the beginning. In game that is not that easy to get into, but we're well once you did. And yeah, it takes some relearning of some when you are used to other RTS, and when you are not used to RTS at all, it takes a lot of understanding for base mechanics and so on. Plus, in the end, there's still a good couple of things that just, on the first look, don't make any sense, but it is worth it. It's a really, really good game. Commandos getting a good kill against the AML 90s here. Entree will push forward against the French light infantry that is holding the forest. But for now, +2 for DotSpy does keep going. He is at least 400 points in. Could have been 100, 200 points further already if the CV would have come a bit faster in the south. And still far away from getting anywhere to the 2000s. I don't believe that's the way DotSpy will win this, but he is still holding out in the middle, is still attritioning away the Dutch as well. And the Dutch don't have endless numbers of everything. They are working with limited pools of each unit type. Like, they only have one card of Centurions, they only have one card of the Leo 1. So once you get rid of this, they also will have some gaps in their combined arms as well. Your combined arms, as the French, is not really high quality, but you can get a lot of it out in numbers. Yes, I am German. Whilst we have an MR10 aiming for the center here, going for some Milan 2 or some Massarin. as the command layer trying to hold the line against the Centurion. Serene pushing deeper in here, but too far away from engaging the enemy with any of their good AT weapons. The Apilas, fantastic AT launcher, as Polnyskill is using all his support assets here now to try to get as much fire support on the enemy strong infantry as possible. Relatively successful so far. Commandos pushing forward to help out with these engagements. Artillery of the French once more the old 150mm 5mm howitzers. The old 50s era gun has seen service in Algeria and I believe also in Southeast Asia already. Deborah moving in here once more. Really good anti-infantry fire support there. Mandelair though going down, Masserine going down as well, so the fight here is a close one once more. Centurions move on further. Deborah under fire, under pressure, as the commandos get in closer here as well. The French lines start to crumble a bit here in the center. They are still holding out nicely in the middle. Air support hasn't been really a thing yet. We have seen a good couple of fighters. I'm surprised we see these fighters. Surprised we don't see the cheaper Crusaders with the long-range missiles, as they're, in my eyes, some of the most cost-efficient planes out there. Just firing some long-range missiles, retiring, and eventually will get hits. When you use them in pairs, and they're dirt cheap. They're not the most card efficient, but they're the most cost-efficient, some of the most cost-efficient airplanes out there. And the Mirage 3E, on the other hand, find is not that great anymore. But yeah, Milan here getting around, gets a good hit against the Leo 1. Hey Hex, hey Kaimani, welcome to the channel. And we see a lot of blue units dying here. Like the kill feed is currently just blue units, which is a bit worrying. The French 152nd Infantry here might have a similar disaster to last game here. And also the 155mm is trying to go for the commandos. Is trying to get some hit there. Phantom coming in for the Alouette. Gets the kill. Artillery trying to go after the enemy here. And not really able to do anything. Centurion goes down. More ATGMs firing against them. Mirage 3E getting pushed back. Highhawk will find the kill. Will get the shutdown on this little unit and blow it up into smithereens. Crashes into the ground. Artillery needed to deal with the other side here. 155mm artillery piece can do so here with some shots into the south and get the CV out there. That would be big. Currently still a +1, but only 600 points with still 24 minutes remaining. That might not be enough once the center flips. The south here, at least there, Polnyskill is still somewhat stuck. The artillery. Oh, the cluster of super Itendar getting 2 kills. One of them being one of the Leo 2s. OH-58 trying to get retaliation. Fails to get the hits. So the super Itendar, that's one of the good strike aircraft that I was talking about at the beginning of the game. That's some of the best stuff the French Air Force can get, and it absolutely did its job here. On the other hand, M113 does kill the CV, and Polnyskill likely will stop the tick for now. So, 250 point difference, but that was a fantastic bomber run there. And the M110 tries to go around for some kills as well. Yeah, Centurion and Leo 1 disengaging. Panzerverkenners engaging versus the Command Lair. As someone who really enjoys 1v1, and like this game, for me, as a StarCraft player coming from StarCraft, is just way better than Broken Arrow. But plus, it has some way better balance and a lot more factions, a lot of cool shit from a lot of nations by now, and getting more wild and cool nations with Austria and Switzerland and Hungary and Albania soon as well. So, like, and the gameplay is really solid as well. And the no updates for sure is real by Broken Arrow. The cheater issue, I believe, has been curbed a good bit, but I haven't followed with that either. It was for sure pretty bad around launch still, and for a couple of weeks after, but they did a lot of banning there. Still might be some, but you will have cheaters in every video game still. Like, there are some cheaters in WARNO as well. You just take an action there too when you report them. Panzermechaners holding the line there. Commander Lair getting engaged. Issue with Broken Arrow regarding cheats was that it was just too easy to find them because the engine is a common one. So making cheats for it is relatively easy as well, because you can take cheats from other games using the engine. WARNO has the, for better or worse, its own engine, which allows this amazing performance zooming in and out. But that also comes with its own jank, and all the development has to be done by Eugen, which, compared to the previous games, Division 2, has been a lot. Like, they have done some nice improvements. We have fantastic Star Wars mods and mods for Warhammer 30k and so on coming around now. But all of that still comes with a good amount of jank, and yeah, there's some weird limitations in it as well. Commandos here will push forward. Yeah, we have the 155mm going around. Yes, you can host games. You can host up to 4v4 privately and play them with friends. And you can there's also ranked queue for 1v1 in WARNO. And then there's 10v10 publicly hosted servers in WARNO. You also can play the campaign multiplayer, which is pretty cool as well. You can play the campaigns against each other too. And yeah, the game here right now is starting to fizzle out a bit, but DotSpy is for now clinging on to the center in a pretty good manner. Has started to stop the bleeding a bit here in units. The momentum of Polnyskill has been reduced a bit. He doesn't have that many tanks going around anymore. A good couple of the Leos, as I pointed out earlier, and a good couple of the Centurions in his division have been removed. And his MR10s are the biggest asset right now. These big artillery howitzers, they can be absolutely devastating. Like, a lot of the kills lately have been done by them. If there's any way that DotSpy could maybe attack them, that would be a massive blow, but it's hard to get that far behind enemy lines. And the movement here from Polnyskill is on par as well, so counter battery should not work either. But we have a good amount of TRM 2000 supply trucks here, trying to just keep the center forces that get hit alive. An Alpha Jet with 400 kilogram bombs coming around. One of the heaviest armed light attack aircraft. But the Eyehawk is on a roll today. Unlike the Osa in the last game, this time around Polnyskill's AA is hitting every single long-range shot. And yeah, another one bites the dust. In the meantime, though, another Leo 1 dealt with. And if it's only coming down to infantry versus infantry, then DotSpy's French light infantry forces here should be able to hold their line. They can come around with a good couple of these VABs as well, which are relatively decent APCs. They have a 50 cal on the top, so they can give decent fire support as well. And Panzermechaners staying behind the lines. Whilst we have the Super 8 and Dart cluster moving around as well. And yeah, Mistral getting around to the front lines. Command Blair fighting back against the infantry. Commando getting killed off as well. The center is not budging here. Polnyskill is starting to clear up the south a bit, but not yet quite fully through it. There is a VAB-CV that will try to maybe get the take up a bit further once more. Another Leo 2A4B comes around. Another couple of infantry units here moving in as well. Maybe time to start advancing here, figuring out if you maybe can get into the alpha 2-pointer zone, because this is the easiest way of getting some points here for Polnyskill. Trying to get around here and grabbing the 2-pointer and bringing a couple of defensive units with you. So the French, with their super étendards, with their naval aircraft, coming around here, trying to find the Leo, who gets hit once more, this time around by a Phantom. And the Eyehawk does finish the job again, making the life of the Leo 2A4 here on the ground a good bit safer. That's the M110, still going to town. Not really hitting anything here this time around. Leo 2A4 has moved forward. CV really close to being under fire here by the infantry. 2 more commando special forces infantry moving forward. Good stats, a lot of firepower in these guys as they push through the town, advancing towards the enemy. And yeah, the battlefield developing nicely currently for the red side, but TV is able to get in back in the south, and it's only 16 minutes at this point. And what the tens need to find the CV in the middle. Okay, they are aiming for it now. They are aiming for some Milan 2s here as well. So key units still being targeted by this. The M110s likely will have an immense kill feed in the end, as the Milan 2 being under fire does not get hit there. TV under fire next. The Leo 2A4 needs to be repaired. Have some F5HE coming around, not finding the CV. Good movement there by DotSpy. But CV in the middle goes down. That will stop the take here for now again. So as Polnyskill, you want to clear the whole space out. ML90s, light support vehicles coming around. These are French older generation, replaced later by the AMX-10 RCs, as the light gun vehicles, 90mm gun on them, can deal with light vehicles on the other side, like the Dutch APC here, the YP48, which has a decent 50 cal turret on the top as well to help out with infantry fire support, so getting rid of them is quite helpful. Whilst Leopard 2s here, they are coming at 0 vet, so that means you get 4 of them per card, but it also means that their stress recovery takes absolutely forever. That means that this routed Leo here will go on for a while before it will be able to recover from this. At the same time, CV in the south now finally gets cleared out with artillery. The Wild Weasel seat also gets the better out of one of the Croatels. Moving in towards the center now. The Croatel here is still turned on as well, so the Wild Weasel could find that too. We will go to a +1 now for the red team. And yes, the seed plane does find the next radar AA. Now getting the hell out of here. Whilst infantry on the ground gets shut down. The Leo is slowly coming back, but as you can see, it's still super stressed out, still on low cohesion, which comes with massive deficits on the traits here, debuffs on all the stats, massive here. So not a combat efficient unit. That's one of the reasons why you usually want to bring them around with 1 vet, because stress recovery on the heavy tanks is really important, because they're gonna take stress, because they're gonna get shot by artillery, gonna get shot by enemy guns, and sometimes infantry AT, and they usually will survive it. But if you don't have stress recovery, that still leaves them relatively inefficient. Commandos and YPs here moving around. South is starting to get cleared out. And yeah, the question is now, can DotSpy just hold on long enough? Has a CV back in the middle. M10's not finding the target just yet. Needs reloading here. And Polnyskill might need to go for the push through the south. Is up 1-0 in the series, but could end it here with a good deep push. At the other side though, good artillery aiming at the commando infantry. If the commando infantry falls, there might be a bit more room to go deeper. The F5HE gets a Milan 1, but doesn't get close to the CV. Another Wild Weasel seat moving in here. There are no radar AA units on the battlefield left. There is only man-pads by now. So Wild Weasel won't find anything in that regard. But Phantoms here, together with the F5, completely controlling the skies. 11 minutes still always feels like a good bit. Not that much time when you still have to move towards the enemy zones. So Polnyskill should start engaging and getting closer to the enemy. These units in the south here, for example, should push deeper towards the enemy side of things. F4E are getting engaged by the Mirage 3s, but yeah, the French missiles are just not good enough. And it only carries 3 missiles. Like Mirage 3s, you never want to use them alone. You at least have to use them in pairs. Often you want to use them as triplets, because then they stress out the enemy planes quickly enough as well that usually they don't die. Now, yeah, this one here in a bit of a turn fight with a Wild Weasel. Both planes on equal stats there, so Mirage having a tough time. It's double 30mm are actually dealing pretty decent damage, but in the end, not enough to get the kill there. But Mirage once more gets eye-hawked. This eye-hawk here will have an insane kill feed in the end. The bear really doing the job here. Well, it's the MR10s not being with ammo right now. That's a big mistake. We have a cluster MLRS coming in, trying to get the CV. That's by moving it out. And Polnyskill is not moving. And this is a big problem. Polnyskill is not getting anywhere where he gets a point lead right now. He did break the situation himself. He has control over the skies. He did get decent tanks on the battlefield, but oh no, Leo T-Way4 getting side-shotted there. Milan's doing their job, and Polnyskill just trying to go head first in here. This is not getting you any points. Not playing for the to try to get to the open field here in the south. Big mistake as well. Now a lot of French infantry units here are between you and that point. So you can't just drive through there. You have to be careful with your advance. Otherwise, these French infantry units with decent AT weapons will just pick you apart. The recon variant even bringing Apilas around. Cluster coming in again, trying to get the CV. Getting it this time around, but a +1 will not be enough. You need more than this. You either need a push in the north, or, as I said, I believe better is push in the south. The unit's only now realizing it. Polnyskill is now moving everything forward, but there is likely too much infantry between him and the position. OH-58 helicopter moving forward. We have a cannons now moving up as well. Now we have 2 more Leo 2A4s coming around here for the center. A lot of AMLs abusing the situation that actually all the Leos have been taken out here. Now they are the only vehicle around, so they are the only thing with a gun that actually can engage. No ATGM teams on the other side. So this position just gets besieged. There is a lot of Dutch Special Force infantry still remaining to protect the infantry leader. F-16 cluster coming around as well, but here we go. Leo 2A4 goes down. Masserines will just kill off the CV vehicle as well. Yep, Polnyskill did wait too long. 8 minutes remaining, and Polnyskill likely will lose this game. MR10s aiming for the center here as well, trying to get some kills. F-16 cluster got. And a +1 is just not enough. 8 minutes remaining, no push to the north. Like, with a weird move through the south, this could still work out, but nothing like that is coming. Leo 2s are going to the center. Polnyskill still focused on fighting around that 1 point zone in the middle. The 2-pointer, where you actually can get a +3, +4 situation up. That is where you want to be here, and that is not where he is going. But yeah, 152nd, doing a really good job here of just holding the line. MX13s moving in numbers as well, more reservists coming around, Masserin moving through the north, getting into interesting positions as well, and yeah, infantry goes down. Leo 2A4B moving up to the front line as well. And DotSpy this time around. I was a bit critical about the timing on the CVs. There could already be more points still, I believe, on his clock, but and there was a moment where the center was really fragile, but Polnyskill didn't really use the moment where he broke the south and didn't quite get through the center either. And Polnyskill did lose a bit too many of the vehicles, like a couple too many Leo 1s and a couple too many of the Centurions, and especially then also the Leo 2s got killed off too easily. And that really allowed DotSpy to just hunker down with the infantry. Now with the light vehicles, be a real nuisance to all the enemy infantry as well, constantly firing here with the AML-90s. And yeah, the Zero Red Leo 2s, they give you the numbers, but you usually should have a CV of some sort, or like have them around the CV of some sort, so that they at least can recover their stress. Otherwise, the efficiency of them is just not great. Like, they're gonna miss so many shots here against the enemy. MX13s coming around, getting a fantastic side shot. Another Milan going in there as well. The MR10, Leo from the rear here doing their best to try to deal with that, but not enough. 5 minutes remaining and no budging here from DotSpy. +1, only giving 40 points per minute. That's not enough. You get a tick every 1.5 seconds, and yeah, that only leads to 40 points per minute here currently. That with only 5 minutes remaining, you are only getting 200 more points here. Means that DotSpy will still be leading with a good bit, and DotSpy did a good job of making all the gaps impossible to get through. Like, there is now going to be a command TV trying to sneak in into the north, but there are defensive units there. There is a recon unit down here for any CV sneak through. Polnyskill would need a bit more oomph behind any of these kind of pushes, and he doesn't have that right now. The KD in the end will be in favor of DotSpy. DotSpy even about to be able to get back into action here in the middle. The Leo 2s not quite giving the fire support needed. The MR10s did a decent amount of work, but the AML-90s here really going to town on all the commandos for such a long time, and really, really strong play out of the 152nd. It's the map where you can play them, and DotSpy did play them well here. And CLKA just falling a bit short. Fog on the side, the fire, and the other 155mm going after another Leopard. 3 minutes remaining. TV's here desperately gonna try. Yo 105 trying to move around, but Sabera is there. Gets the BO. And +2 or +3 wouldn't be enough now either. You would need more than that. And there is no room for more than that, so yeah, Polnyskill got out played this time around. this time around the French light infantry did work, avenging their brethren, and that means we will have a game 3 here in this series between Polnyskill and DotSpy, as Commando, CMG are moving in, Ito moving through the center as well. MR10 get reloaded here, whilst we have a couple of units here trying to get the path through. Some nice kills to go around here against Super 8 and Dart, but no room for actual successes. Polnyskill should realize that in the near future here as well. Maybe still plays to the end in the tournament, with your tournament game on the line. Might want to take the time to consider what to do in the next game, what you might have to improve in this matchup, where the enemy's strengths are, what you can abuse maybe, and just take your time here. He's taking down Seed Plane. Might get another kill here. Yep, does find another Crotel. As we have another Super Urchin Dart putting in the strike anti-radiation missiles. Finding their victim there. F-16 cluster is forced to fall back again. And yeah, the command unit here being kept down as well. F-16 cluster going around again, and there's the GG. That we have a 1-1 situation. DotSpy and Polnyskill. What a game here out of our player in blue, getting the French infantry, well-deserved success, and getting us a game 3 with it. So I'm excited for that. Best of 3 tournament game on the line for both players now. In the next one, title match coming up. Quick break, guys, and then we're gonna be back with game number 3 in DotSpy and Polnyskill. So here we go. Final game between DotSpy and Polnyskill, as we have second UK and 34 VDV in here. This should be quite the interesting one. 35th VDV, division that we haven't seen quite as much, but Polnyskill coming around with some more infantry. And yeah, if you want to support the tournament, you can do so via Matcherino. Thanks to all of your support, we already have a prize for Division 2. The winner of Division 2 can get $25 roos. Obviously, the big money is in Division 1, where we are up to 179 US dollar for the first place. But you can make that higher without even having to pay anything. All you have to do is go to the site and click the claim code button to add free money, free 25 cents directly to the prize pool that will be paid out in the end. And yeah, if we go to 400, Division 3 winners will get something as well. If we go to 800, I will do another 24-hour stream. So let's see if we can get there this season. And with that said, let's get back to Vertigo here with 2 old school divisions. One being a bit better than the other in my eyes. I still believe Second UK has something going for it. The SAS, the speed with the helicopters, and then still having some tanks, still having some warriors behind that. That is all nice. With the current state of autocannons on IFVs and the HGM nerf on IFVs, I feel 35th has lost a lot of its appeal. Like, usually the division can hold out pretty well for 15, 20, 25 minutes, but it always falls apart in the late game. Like, just like 76, just like its brethren, I feel like the division is just a bit too easy to collapse and a bit too weak to protect its own helicopters, which are one of its main selling points. The KA-50 and Strong Hinds, and yet you just really struggle to keep them alive. And that makes the division a lot harder to use in my eyes. But we get a couple of shreds coming around, we get a good couple of Dejaniki still. There is still a lot of ATGM in this division. No, that's 76. 76 is the one without helicopters, but with the MiG-31s and big Su-24 bombers. This is one here is the one with the MiG-29 fighters and relatively mediocre strike aircraft. But yeah, decent forward deploy masses of BMD-2s and then some good helicopter tap. Towards SBG-9, trying to be the fire support here. They got buffed a bit again with the accuracy of together with all the other SBGs. So that is nice, but going down here as well. Fox trying to rotate around the north. The SBG-9 might be able to get it there. Both running into each other with an attack order. It doesn't get a kill? What? Like 14-10, right? Just not quite enough there, I guess. So both SBG-9s in the south and in the north go down. The BMDs here trying to assist. BMDs are for deploy IFVs, but they pay for that. They only have 2 frontal armor. They don't have any smoke. And they are decently fast, which is nice. They have a 30mm autocannon, which is good. BMGs is nice as well, so good firepower, but low survivability and only 3 Conqueror's missiles instead of the usual 4 to 6 ammo that other IFVs get for their ATGMs. So that leaves them down a bit. BMD-2 here, coming around for the south as well. Trying to hold the line there. Conquerors going towards the center. The red team is on the +1 right now, but base-wise, Polnyskill with the SAS, which are just fantastic all-rounders. Good against helicopters as well, so that alone already keeps the KA-50s back for now. And you usually want to deal with them with artillery or fire support. And both you don't have that much of in 35th. And in direct infantry fights, SAS are really, really good as well. The Dejaniki here getting attacked. Reds will find the Hellam helicopter most likely. No, that's not quite do the job there. But that's annoying as well. Dejaniki Afghansky special veterans getting pushed back here. Having the Mountaineer trade and yeah, the SAS taking them apart. Armored rifles sitting around here as well. Resupply can come in. We have a Fox rolling the north. DotSpy doesn't really have any pushing power to go over the hill here, so has to fight for the south. But having the Citadel, that is big. That is really, really nice. But doesn't currently have any GMs around there to really push back enemy vehicles from it. So has to live with the enemy infantry pushing towards him here. With a good sniper team, some Dejan Afghansi should be able to still hold out decently here, but yeah, more BMD-2s going down. More Spetsnaz Sniperi coming around. Firepower with the Vintoress and the SVD. Dejan Saperi move to the front line here as well. That's going down. The lack of smoke on your vehicles is really a big problem. Their survivability not that great, and 55 points. It's not super expensive, but it's also not cheap at all. Yeah, here we have the first Mi-24D helicopter. As I said earlier, with the SAS around, it's hard to make them work here right now. There is a high accuracy stinger around every corner, and a high accuracy stinger that you just can't immediately run down with your helicopter either. Normal stinger teams, at least if it's a single one, your helicopter might actually just be able to kill them. But SAS are 8 hit point squad. It also isn't that easy to stun because it's special forces. So good chances they get a second shot out of before you can get a kill on them. Then likely get a kill on you. Dejan Saperi, RPO pushing up. Take is stopped on both sides. We have Dejan that's pushing up here. BMD assisting the Sniperi, getting good control over the center here once more. But yeah, you kind of need to win air control here. Against the second UK, you can win the air control. Their Phantom Fighter is not that amazing. Their ground-based AA is not that amazing. But for that, you still want to get rid of the SAS. You have some decent Nonna artillery as well, or some Grad Vs that you can use to deal with these situations. And the tick is currently stopped. So I don't believe it's impossible here for DotSpy to get around. But the early game advantage being kind of stopped by the SAS as well. That's all a big problem. And B24V now being forced back by the Milan. Really has to be careful with how it flies. Good micro here by DotSpy. Has to stay low. Always land and move. Gets the kill against the Milan. Great micro here with the helicopter, staying below the tree line. Now getting it back to repair. Fantastic micro there. Not losing it. Now getting it at least back to 6 hit points. Even being in a position where it can attack the Challenger. Oh, Challenger was in range there for a second. Okay, for now, flying again. Flying really, hovering really low in position so that the SAS can't get another shot out against them. And it's still being in a spot where it can just push the enemy back. Harrier likely here with the mission to kill that. And there is not that much AA. There are a couple of Iglas around. Same with the Scrats. And Dejan Igla moving around. The B-24B did land again, so that the Harrier can only gun run it, but the gun run is enough. Igla here trying to get another shot out. That's cost efficient for the Harrier, one of the cheapest fighters. And it even makes it out alive. Really important kill there on that Mi-24V. Quite brutal, forcing another one to be bought here by DotSpy. But the 107mm artillery now is using its supremacy in that regard as well, getting good salvos here onto the position. Besnat Sniper holding out, getting good shots, getting the kill on the links. Fox here on the side, a pretty good spot as well. A lot of ATGMs coming around this time around. Rover not being hit though. 2 Rover Milans retaliating. The Dejaniki still in their transport. They get shot at by numerous units there as well. One of them, the Rovers, goes down. Challenger pushed back. This ATGM fight did work out for DotSpy. 24V getting involved as well. Medis Infantry coming out. The next Rover Milan kill. Warrior under fire, getting stressed out as well. Goes down there too, so these fights at least for once going pretty good. Fox here under fire as well. Gets the kill onto the CV. Ford can come around. That's a bit unfortunate. Bit of the SAS. SAS still have Stinger. Oh, getting a kill here would be big. The other SAS still around. As the rockets don't quite get the kill there. The 30mm autocannon though finishes it off. Finally an SAS down. And the Nonnas should go after the other one as well. As, yeah, another one here down in the south gets a hit in retaliation. Challenger Mark II did get killed there by that MiG-27. I did not quite realize that. Side shot kill here against the Chelly. You only get 3 of them as Polnyskill here. Or maybe 5 if he takes them at 0 red. I didn't quite check that. Oh, he takes them at 0 red again. That's why this one is still running again. Once more, heavy tanks at 0 red. It didn't work out last game. Let's see if it works out this game. At least means that he gets 5 of them. You only got 1 card. Good kill against the Mi-24V. That did land here again to avoid the SAS. But the artillery does find it there. And now Nonna's trying to go for some retaliation. +2 for the blue team. The Conqueror is doing a good job here. Dealing damage. Considering 35th position in the early game, this is a really, really good play. And yeah, Nonnas engaging here against the Milan 2s. Milan 2 getting killed off, whilst we have Dejan Iki sitting around. SAS will get under fire here as well. With enough infantry moving in. Bedford's under fire, Milan 2 the fire as well. 24 VP flying forward. Colonel, to answer your question right now, no, I don't think so. Eugene is into making historical games and not that interested into making something about the modern days. I might go over it a bit more in the pause before we get into the next series. But yeah, SAS here getting killed. Airmobile gun group going down as well. Whilst Nonas coming around here with good fire. Another SAS being down. That means now the AA situation is getting a good bit better. There is the potential of javelins, but javelins are a lot weaker than stingers at anti-helicopter because they have less range and they aren't fire and forget, so they have to be guided the whole way. And just this shoot and run with them. 24 VP here, doing a lot of work. Even seeing the warriors here. Warrior unloading at least, but still being under fire here. SAS trying to get closer. First warrior goes down, second one should just smoke off. +2 here still going on as the next warrior gets got. Good micro on the helicopters here throughout the game so far by DotSpy. Wants to get this one a bit further away from those SAS. They get another shot out and get the B-24 routed. Nona going after carriers here in the corner. No CV around here yet for DotSpy. That is a mistake. He's down a good couple of points. The last CV got killed. There is a BMD down the way, so at least it will solve it relatively soon. Once this zone is fully captured, it will stop the take completely. For now, that would still stay at a +1 with the CV on the other corner. Vision of Gansi going down, Conquerors going down, the 2 artillery pieces here, 155mm gun, and the self-propelled 175mm. Doing a good job here, using the heavier artillery availability on the right side here for Polnyskill. That's the Nonas. Try to get the challengers here. Using their big aim and reload time to try to get as much damage around as well. Alarm is a problem. MD not able to move in yet because of the challenger here, stopping it from getting around. Challenger pushes forward again. No real infantry around here that can challenge it. Its position, B-24 needs to get repaired as well, and Polnyskill is getting a really good position here with the rover that can intercept the enemy. OP Spesnats that can do the job. Has a fantastic RPG-21, can deal with challengers here, but BMDs go down in the meantime. Nona will try to go for the challenger, but Polnyskill by now has figured out that this is the target, so should be able to likely get away with it again. Gets stunned. MD2's trying to help out fire-wise. Rifles though getting close to one of them. ATGM going after the others. MD finally gets around the corner again. Challenger heavily stressed out. Pushed back again. Yeah, rifles going forward. Onas won't find them there. Superi RPO getting around Rover Milan, wasting its ammos here on Uvatsas. That is good for DotSpy. Didn't lose anything to it. The breaking of the line of sight here being a bit of an issue as well. Whilst we have some more helicopter action coming around. Mi-8 Recon, another Mi-24 VP coming in. 20% ECM, those are the good ones. Best Mi-24 up until the latest patch where we got with the first Guards Motostrelki, the ones with the attackers, or those were the best. They are still pretty good. Mi-8 can resupply as well, and with KA-50s potentially maybe coming around later as well, really can do a decent job. Up here, FSB-1 is a decent anti-helicopter AA with its range, but it doesn't have any capabilities of moving towards them, so they have to fly into it. You have to catch them a bit in their momentum, so that they can't just move out away because your first shot won't kill them. You need 2 hits. You have good accuracy, so you might get 2 hits. But you need 2 hits, and you have to be careful that the Nonnas don't find you. SAS now being target of one of them. That's the infantry fights here. Going okay, but not great for DotSpy. No Special Forces Spetsnaz coming around yet. Meanwhile, Mi-24 trying to rotate around, trying to get into rocket range. Good couple of rocket salvos can swing infantry fights here quite quickly. The SAS getting hit quite nicely as well. Tornado coming around with good HE bombs. No MiG-29 out. Harrier coming in. Oh no, the Harrier is a disaster. Yeah, no MiG-29s ready to protect them. That is a big mistake. The E-Glass just can't do it. We have seen that many times in the past and already before in this series as well. The Harrier does go down, but losing a Mi-24V for that is just a really bad trade. This is a 210 versus a 110 point helicopter plane, and the plane has way better availability. So yeah, the lack of MiG-29s here, really bad. Couple of kills here against Milans and so on. All of that is nice, but the +2 is still going on, and you are supposed to be the early game division here as DotSpy. So really good usage here of the Harrier by Polnyskill. SAS still posing a threat. Challengers still being around, not being eliminated. This Challenger here still being alive. The other one being repaired. So we have 3 Challengers around the south here. MiG-27 finds another one of them. Good micro there. Waiting for the right angle, whilst the SAS, for some reason, don't have an attack order here. They move around with a move order, meaning that they don't get any shots out against MiG-27, which otherwise they already might have been able to use to push it back. Up here, FSB does do so though, and yeah, there is no real potential for pushing in the north, so going through the south is the only way DotSpy can do things right now. But it's not a great way of going about things right now. SAS finally will shoot, and they will get a hit. Getting a Lynx rocket with the MiG-27, and now having to repair for a while, not worth at all. Warrior does go down, but we don't really have the pushing power here. Desert Nikki coming in. Once we have M107 even counter-battering the Nonna now, it is just not quite enough here. Not being able to protect the helicopters. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the game. This is one of the weaknesses of this division, that it just doesn't have any AA that can do it. And that it just doesn't have the capabilities in the air tab either. MiG-29 is a decent fighter, but it's not a great one. Nonna here going after the SAS in the south. Getting some decent hits there. No kills so far. BMD2 pushing forward, going after the airmobile gun troops. Challenger Mark II getting hit here as well. BM1. Oh no, the CV once more goes down. If there would have been a kill on the CV now, with a CV moving in and this zone turning red, I believe there would be a shot, but now the tick just will go on for such a long while until the next CV arrives here. And yeah, the helicopters desperately trying to do their thing. The SS down here. Did they get taken care of? What happened to them? They just get... Oh yeah, they got bombed. Right. SAS are down. The Rapier is down as well. But now we have tractor piers coming in. The helicopters there will have to fight a bit harder as well. You can do it against them. Fellas here also doing a decent job against the Lynx on the other side. A good couple of Spetsnaz even going down. Oh no. Spetsnaz did arrive, but immediately went down as well. We have the first Akula. One of the best helicopters in the game. Up there with the Apaches. Have fantastic ATGMs with the Vicar. Long range, super hard hitting. Good rockets, 20% ECM. Fast flying, 270 kmh. So, fantastic helicopter. Have a MiG-29 this time around to protect it as well. But yeah, the tractor piers need to be dealt with. First one gets killed. As the Akula can be really good against the Challenger here as well. Staying low. Not quite getting the line of sight there. Yeah, trying to aim down the line. But Conquerors, BMD2s, Strelas, all goes down right now. Gets another tractor up here. Mi-24 BP here, getting repaired. Maybe could then swing around through the north again. We have two tractor up here over here, getting into position to deal with the Akula. As the MiG-29 might be able to reveal that, but also might die for it. It doesn't die for it. Will give the Akula the information that it has to get the hell out of there, and it is doing that. So good movement there. The Akula is firing some shots. Tractor up here, not able to get the kill there. Has to get away from them. Does get hit once. Needs to move further. The Jaguar might just coming around for the kill here now. Bella and Igla pushing it back. New MiG-29 might need to arrive, but the Bellojor goes down. Another CV not making it in here. The Akula is in trouble as well. Mi-24 didn't rotate deeper as well. Currently the helicopters could be hovering over here even. And just get some nice shots around, but the Dash on Nikki just getting got. And yeah, it's a good play here by DotSpy with the helicopters, but it's not quite good enough on the ground, and Polnyskill plays to the win condition. Plays to the second UK win condition in the matchup quite nicely. I believe what could fix this division is Strela 10Ms with the same missiles that they get in... Like one card of Strela 10Ms with the same missiles that they get in 27th would go pretty hard. And yeah, here come the Harrier just bullying the helicopters. Mi-24 goes down. Lack of MiG-29 here in the sky again is pretty rough. The better Strela 10M A3 or so. I forgot what an M3. An M3 I believe it is, yeah. That really could make 35th decently viable, because then it could protect its helicopters. But currently it just can't protect its airspace against these incursions of Harriers. And really the Harriers were the linchpin unit here. Like, those stopping so many helicopters by now that would stop any snowball of helicopters going around, because the SAS, yes, they do their job. They're supposed to be annoying, but DotSpy did a decent amount work of getting rid of them over time, and would have by now had some room there, but with the amount of expensive high-quality helicopters lost so far, with only 15 minutes remaining, 1,200 points on the other side, and you're only having a realistic chance on a +2, and that even that is still being far away. This game is not going to go anywhere at this point. MiG-27 getting hit and pushed back. Well, it's the MiG-27M gets shut down as well and will crash down. I don't think there's any good matchup for 35th at the moment. Like I said that a good couple of times before. I feel like 35th and 76 currently are just bait, and people still hate them because of their past annoyance and the glory that they had in the past. But the decks feel really, really beatable and so hard to play, whilst even when you play them well, like one miss micro and one loss of one of the important planes in 76 or one of the important helicopters in this deck, and you're just completely gone. Like, they feel like heavy tank decks, but your heavy tanks are super fragile. And yeah, GGVP is called here in the end. DotSpy losing to Polnyskill in a 2-1 fashion. Good play there with 152nd. Interesting play here around as well. And yeah, if the protection of those helicopters would have worked out a bit better, they could have done decent jobs as well. Some great plays around the corners here. Nona's doing well as well. Then we had decent BMD2 action and so on here too. So job decently well done by DotSpy, but better done by Polnyskill. Second UK still showing teeth here, knowing the advantages that it had, using the artillery, using the tanks, keeping them alive, and focusing on keeping those alive. That's also just not letting the enemy get away with helicopters, with the Harriers, and so really well played and deserved 2-1 victory here in the end. And that will bring us to the next series here in the quarterfinals. And that one will be SBG, aka Sneaky Black Guy, versus Liszek. And we're gonna go in there after a quick break. See you all in a second with the next series. To answer your question there, Solo Nil, a bit deeper. I don't believe Eugen is that interested in modern day. They are a bunch of history nerds, and we already have enough of modern conflicts in the media right now. They're older history nerds. They don't, and they are not going after what is most mainstream and money. Like, if they would be, they already would have gone with modern day for WARNO instead of Cold War again. Also, harder to make it work really with drone warfare and so on. Like, you could make it modern day skin, actually make it modern day combat is also insanely hard. You see that in Broken Arrow, which is also more Cold War combat with modern day skin and some fancy toys and full on modern day combat, because drones play a negligible role in it, too, like outside of recon, which we now have in WARNO as well, because that existed in the Cold War time period as well. Some fancy big explosion thingies, but yeah, would likely also not be a fun game. I don't think they will go modern day. Highest chance in my eyes is another Steel Division, but we might just see something else entirely. I would love to see a Napoleonic game out of them. So here we go. Next series. Sneaky Black Guy versus Liszek, a series here. And should be quite a fun one as well. We have Polnyskill winning 2-1 here. And see if Liszek or Sneaky Black Guy can move on to the semifinal. Semifinal being really important because everybody who makes it into the semifinal also moves up one division in the next season. So that would mean Division 1 for whoever wins here. And that would mean a return to Division 1 for SBG in WARNO. And a return in some sort for Liszek as well. Has been there in the Steel Division League, but I don't think so in WARNO. Maybe in Season 0. I don't quite remember. But at least has been a long while since he has been in the top flight of some WARNO action. But could get close here with a win. And the matchup that we got, a pretty standard one as well here, is we have DLKA versus Second Panzer here. And then we have another Durine showing up here on Mount River, because SBG here seemingly didn't pick a division. So this got randomized. He must have messed up. You have a 30-second timer for each pick, and you have to pause this before so you can consider what division you want to pick and where it is so that you can click on it. But seemingly not able to find the pick SBG here getting the Rhine, so we'll see him on the Rhine there against 27th, and then the final matchup, Liszek finally bringing around some polls with the 4th ZMAC versus 6th Airplane Day, so that will be interesting as well. And yeah, we have SBG here coming around with OH-58s, with a Leo 1V, and a Hawk helicopter as well. We have some Leo 1V PMGs for the south. You get a couple of Leo 2s in both decks. Better Leo 2 2A4B in deck of SBG here. But you get a couple more Leo 1s as second Pentagon. And second Pentagon also gets the Martyr as an IV. So in general, the slightly heavier division, both divisions get M110s. One of the advantages of the division here on the left is better helicopters, OH-58s and OH-58s and the AH-1 Hawk helicopters coming in here for the opener. That's something that you see quite often with the division. Plus a recon helicopter to spot for them. And you also get Special Forces Infantry, which you don't get as second Panzergrenadier, as you get access to the commandos. We have seen the division before, the last series as well. DLKA, quite the all-rounder as well. But second Panzergrenadier currently widely considered as the best all-rounder. So for ranked, for sure, the number one deck in my eyes to pick. And in tournaments, still one of the best decks around. As it has access to forward deployment, thanks to the Fallschirmjägers. And it has great tornado bombers currently. Has some IVs with decent infantry inside. On the defense Pioneers, it has big infantry squads with Pioneers and Jaegers. And it has Leo 1A1, A1, and Leo 1A5s as cost-efficient early tanks, plus the Leo 2A3s as late-game tanks. So the whole family there showing up as well, which should allow Liszek here to slowly but surely escalate in the heaviness of forces. SBG can rely on the Leo 1Bs here, for example, as well. Base should be able to beat the Leo 1A1A1s, and on the same range, when they get in gun range, can deal with the Leo 1A5s on a pound-to-pound basis as well, but it's being a bit cheaper, so that could be interesting. Then we have the M113s here with the autocannons that after the helicopter opener might be able to do a bit of work as well. Lux is here on the other side. Will go aggressively into the north. No forces there coming in for SBG. He is playing for the Alpha Bravo Citadel triangle here with the building here in the middle, giving you a bit of a fort that you can defend to all directions for good ATGMs and some nice recon positions against the enemy. Fallschirmjägers will try to rush there. We'll see what the airplanes on both sides will be. Maybe we see a tornado and an F4 from the get-go as well. He's slightly in favor of the tornado. The F5 being the more cost-efficient one, and with the OHs behind it, the Hawk should be relatively safe as well. At least able to trade. And ooh, we see two Hawks actually coming around. Yeah, this is going to be an aggressive opener. Mecherino is always on you. Mecherino page is always up. Martyr is around. And we currently have the links. You always can use the /Mecherino command as well. /bracket for so hot commands as well. So yeah, the helicopter opener here is real. No aircraft on the other side. So the Fallschirmjägers are in danger. Minigun opens up here. First Fallschirmjäger unit goes down. Second one in trouble here as well. The Hawk is heavy high load of Hydra rocket. Here's house. So center here, cleared out. Phantom coming around. Could actually maybe even strafe the Swilling here. That's the only AA that we have on the right side. Eyehawks can come around on both sides as well. The Gepards instead. And the Zwillinger here now will get around. Something that the POs cannot cope with. Two of them already going down. One Hawk now going down as well. But the M113's capturing the middle. Okay, yeah, decent kills here. 2 recon helicopters and one of the Hawks killed. One of the M113s here killed in the middle by the 185 as well. And the Phantom stays back. Doesn't know that there is no Eyehawk. Doesn't know that there is no fighter behind this. So doesn't know that it could just use its Vulcan gun for good strafing runs right now. Except for the 185 and 1V here, facing off against each other. Marder pushing in, try to stop the commandos and tank hunters, but Aito missiles flying its way as well. Good smoke micro there. Another Marder goes down to the 1V. Smoke out against the Milan 2. Milan 2 can one-shot the Leos. You have to be really careful around that. And in the end, yes, slight position advantage in the south here for SBG. Big position advantage in the north for our player in red. Liszek there, getting good value. And Milan 2 coming around, finding a Leo. More defense on both sides can really get devastating shots right now if they would come around. Hawk here playing a risky game. Zwillinger trying to rotate, but wants to get the Milan team killed. Will it likely do so or not? It's rockets now. Yeah, finds the Milan 2 there. Leo 185 will get got. Will get pushed back. Third year down as well. The fire too. Another fire pushed back as well. Commando 1 to 3 hit points. Fall back as well. Milan 1. High potential. Not able to get the kill. BOH just actually tried to go for the BO, but they are still killing on a Gepard, so that's risky. Get shot out though. Don't get the kill. One of them does pay for it. Yeah, SBG can't get over here. Has given up full north for it. You need for better siege here. But the worst thing is that the opponent also knows that he has given up the whole north for it. With the recon in fantastic positions here for Liszek, Liszek will realize when anything even gets close to the north, can just be fine with a +2 take and focus on fortifying the south, where 2 similarly heavy divisions now will fight it out. And that means SBG needs to get big artillery, do the job here for great runs with the Leo 2s. Leo 2 already coming around. The OH is here trying weird stuff. Like going for a BO105 is not worthwhile, risking your OHs like this. Losing 2 of them, and a single one is not really worth much. So that holding back, and it's also a lot of attention given to this unit instead of other units on the front line right now that maybe could have done a bit more. Always have to be resourceful with your micro in an RTS. You can't just give it all to a random unit, because that will mean that the rest of your units don't get it. You already got your Aegis here lit up. You now move a Hawk in. It's an interesting choice as well. Ultramakers will reveal themselves, so the Hawk actually will find the recon. Pick up parts this time around, not moving here. So it actually works out. That plane, yeah, coming in now. Phantom did will intercept here. Did expect this. Good prediction. Getting 2 missiles out, one of them being a hit. So F-16 pushed back for a while. No artillery on either side here. They brought up the hill just yet. Tier 1B, Tier 2A force here, not being in the action. They should be. They did good in the previous trade. They're currently not building on it. This is why this extra micro here, this is the real cost of it. The Hawk gets a recon unit, nice and all. What you did lose out on is actually getting some more trades in the area where you are ahead. The enemy had to invest some units into the north to fully capture it. Got some decent trades down here. Try to get more trades. 1B engaging now. Leo to A4B behind, not taking any shots. F3 Leo once and they are not doing anything. A very good sign. More 10. That really should bring things alive again. Now you need to find targets. The one around here as well. The voice is starting to crack up a bit, so to keep it running. Doesn't die completely midstream. Volume. As we have the M110 moving up here. Will increase my microphone a bit. Try to compensate. We have an M110 moving around here, trying to go for the whole situation. And not firing yet. We have an M110 on the other side as well. That finds some value. So yeah, the north is completely lost. Well, it's Leo 1 goes after the Panzer Grenadiers. Tries to get some kills there. Second M110 moving around as well. And yeah, now you're also clumped up against the other M110 on the other side here. That's the worrying part. Like, SBG did risk it all for the south, but is not really playing for it. Like, he needs to go with more artillery on here. He needs to do a bit more here to actually have a shot of getting to the other side, and he's just sitting. Like, when you're getting ticked upon and you are the lighter division, you can't just sit around like this. This is making things a lot harder for him here. He's now realizing that he will need a bit of stuff in the north again. Like, if he doesn't follow up this MR10 salvo, then he's making a massive mistake. I believe he's already making his mistake. He needs to follow this up here for sure. And also keep up firing MR10s now. Like, double MR10 can do a bit of work. Obviously, the other side is trying to do the same. At least he realized that this would be the next target, so moved a bit back here. But this M110 cell won't hit much. M110 will not hit the targets here at all. Yeah, a bit of damage against Panzer Infantry. Milan goes down. And yeah, the ones of SBG did do good damage. Go after the Eyehawk now. Okay, that's a nice target. But he needs to do some fighting. Where is the fighting? no fighting going on here. Ito disengaging. We have a tornado seed coming around, 2 phantoms on the other side. Like, is he just really trying to grind away against a division with 2 M110s, with his own 2 M110s, and while it's being ticked down the whole time? This is currently not the game plan. Like, either you need to take your stuff from the south, rotate in quickly into the north and try to crash in here, or you need to fight to at least have a grind on, because the more reinforced this area gets, the harder it will get to actually make any moves against there. Like, your numbers getting higher on the offense only helps until a certain point. Then the defender getting more and more stuff is going to make things harder and harder. The canner's down here, so he even gets outflanked again. Like, Liszek is playing the right style. Like, when you get the north for free, this is what you need to play. NATO seed here, a bit of a weird choice, but keeps the enemy on the toes as well. Yeah, loses it here now. Like, using seed planes on their own is not the way to go. You need to use them with something else so that the enemy can't just fully focus on it. Good micro on the Eyehawks here. Good micro on the Eyehawks on the other side as well. More 10s now firing on Jaguar and Gepard. Like, the Pacific canners, this is in a fantastic spot. You can absolutely use that for taking your Leos, taking a shot, getting back. Like, the recon setup here is great for SBG, but he's not using it at all. And yeah, getting more commandos and tank Jägers in. It will get smoke mortars in. Gets the Jaguar killed. And we'll try to get the Marder killed as well. There we go. So M110 is doing their job, but no follow-up. We're now 700 points picked against our player in blue. Like, Liszek, he's taking annoying losses here right now, and he has to step it up a bit with his own M110 game to actually get some kills with them. They haven't gotten much after the first success, but I really like what I see in the north. Like, this is exactly the right amount of defense there, with exactly the right amount of aggressive movement to take key areas of the enemy to make it really annoying. Like, the enemy can't just easily get in here. Enemy can't take their buildings easily here. Enemy can't flank you here that easily either. Because you have some recon, you have some ATGMs. Like, this is a well set up and layered cheap defense. And that's exactly what you need. MR10s also now catching the enemy smoke mortars, which are seemingly important for the idea of SBG's attack. So this is highly frustrating now for our player in blue as well. The MR10 crashing around here, but good movement there on the side of Liszek. Getting a couple of his units out there. Commandos moving deep towards the smoke. It's filling and Leos engaging though, and the tanks of SBG not quite where they needed to be here. More commandos coming up. Vehicles shooting each other up. And yeah, Leo 1A5 now going down. The Leo 2A4 here is in a fantastic little vehicle. We have an F-16 in the sky, no tornado bombers yet. The tanks here of SBG finally doing the damage as the Martyrs from the south get around to flank, but good smoke. One Martyr goes down, but at least takes a YPR with it. The Leo 1s here engaging around as well. Good usage of the smoke so far, fantastic usage of the smoke actually. Tank hunters pushing forward as well. The commandos a bit caught out on their own. But Leo 1 now pushing around the flank. Like, this is the kind of execution that he could have done earlier already. And getting trades like this. And then even if he wouldn't have gotten fully in, which he still might not be right now, then he could have gotten away with this trade, recoup, and come in stronger against a weaker Liszek later. But he waited really long with this push. So now Liszek is up to 1000 points. And the timer is nearly at the halfway mark, so this is still going really well right now. SBG with good micro right now. Gets the Leo 2A4 killed though. So good job this time around for Liszek. Tornado, AT being pushed out there. And yeah, the Leo 1's now overstepping because SBG knows that he has to get the pressure through. And instead of stepping back when he got the kills and coming back 5 minutes later, he knows that he has to actually make some headway now. And stays in a bit too long, losing his Leo 2, losing his Leo 1s. And in the end now, still trading up. Like he still killed more than he lost, but not by as much as he would have if he would have gotten back to recuperate after getting his first victories. Yeah, he has to keep the pressure up. Leo 2A4, Leo 1B pushing, and Liszek now has reset up the defense. He's doing a good job there. The M110's out of ammo, not shooting right now because he is still busy microing on the front line and can't take the time off from microing on the front line to get back here. And all of this kind of costing, like all of this because he microed some random helicopters. Like it's really interesting to see like what kind of small things can cost you a game. Like the decision making in the north, maybe not optimal. Giving that up, maybe not optimal. But like yeah, taking so much time here. It's not over yet, but it's really tough now. It's really tough now. Good couple of infantry units now being lost. Not unnecessarily, because he needs to keep the pressure up, but unfortunately. And now Leo 1's CV going down. Jäger Aufklärer getting hit against the Leo 1. Ooh, good Gepard down here. So the Hawk and the Pa are in trouble as well. Tornado gets the Leo 2A4. Yeah, this is looking really rough for SBG now. He is in desperation mode and it's just not working. Like Liszek on the +2 here still. BO going down. Tank Hunter going down as well. And yeah, 1100 points here. You obviously don't want to give up. Toe under fire as well. But he's not getting through. He's not getting through the line here. Stingers being pushed back. Really, really well executed defense after the first blows by Liszek. Recuperating. And then bringing back the push just far enough to not give up the tree line. Like the tree line is the key linchpin of the defense for red. And the position that you have to break as blue, if you can get a couple of commandos actually into the tree line instead of 100 meters in front of it, you are in a great spot. But they never made it just this bit here. The last 100, 200 meters here of space, of in-game range. Obviously, IRL, yeah, it's maybe 100, maybe even a bit less than 100 meters there. It just couldn't quite make that headway. That's Tornado. Also did good job here getting some kills against the Leo 2s. And now back to square one for SBG, but instead of getting ahead in the trades, he still might be on par, because he still got a lot of kills early on and now getting some playing kills and so on. Like he still might be on par in kills, but he is so far behind because of the ticks, because of the whole part of the map that he has given up to be here. So this is really bad. Tornado Seed not being touched either. And yeah, just starting way too late and then feeling too much pressure there with the attacks. And now losing the smoke mortars as well. Like he has the slightly better micro, but Liszek has played WARNO games has played Eugen and WARNO for a long while as well, so he knows how to use these vehicles as well. He has strong fundamentals. SBG has played a lot more lately and has improved on those micro things, but he's just not really advancing here anywhere right now. F-16A flying around. More 10s need to go for it with some artillery again, but the double F-110 on the other side, like, it's pretty much the same toys on both sides now being used. And the advantage that you have is that the enemy still has to put some units into the north. And you have to use that window of opportunity. Gepard here being got. Like, and now SBG basically needs a win that gets him all the way into the rear zone. He still has some layer 2s here around. On the other side, we have one of them as well. He has gotten the Tornado. This is an Ihawk now. He has gotten the Tornado AT killed earlier. MR10 here not really finding the hits either. Unimog is not what you want to get out of a salvo of them. So that's not really good enough either. Centurions and Leo 2s are getting ready. 3 Leo 2s. 2 of them on 0 vet, 1 of them on 1 vet. And a couple of Centurions and 1 more Leo 1. But don't really have that much room to play with here. Really out micro the enemy. More 10 falling back slightly. We'll re-aim here in a second to go after the enemy. And F-16 and Tornado keeping up with the enemy air, so it's not like SBG can use his aircraft here for striking. Ihawks on the ground, good fighters in the sky, so yeah, bombers usually can be something that can change an outcome of an attack against a concentrated position because they can, with their area of effect, deal with the especially real damage, but also just stressing out enemies so that the combat efficiency from your units when they move on for the attack is high enough that you get through. Double Milan 2 here kills, like all of that would be nice if he would have a zone in the north and he wouldn't be up against a +2 right now that finishes him off in 5 minutes. Both Milan 2 will go down. The M110s here of SBG have been better. Liszek overextending here, losing 2 fighters. So Liszek with some mistakes here lately as well, but he has done the better game prep. He has done the better execution there. Anti-infantry going around. And yeah, maybe the helicopters of SBG, instead of moving south after winning the center, should have moved up and cleared up there. Like, that is another thing from the early game that maybe, like, he was maybe too focused on breaking this immediately instead of being like, oh yeah, I get you here, I get all your units in the north as well. You invested into the spread out position and now you don't have it anymore. Like, there is a couple of ways that he could have chosen to play this differently. It's currently a really tough spot. And yeah, Liszek just has to hold out a slight bit longer. And I'm surprised that SBG isn't moving already, because he kind of needs to. But yeah, all his units have arrived now. The other side, we have a decent combine arms as well, though. Yos, good couple of tanks. MR10s will keep on firing around, but currently not really hitting anything either. Leo 1s getting in before the Leo 2s are around. Good smoke micro there, but gonna be tough. Panzer Grenadier goes down. Tornado AT and the Tornado seat both likely gonna go down here with the Ihawk fire. Ihawk's only pushing it back. Not even quite dead. Stingers didn't get another shot out. As Martyrs go down. The AT gets a Leo 2A4 again. That's pretty big. All the AA finally gets a hit, but doesn't quite get the kill. We have more ATGMs around here. Leo 2s try to go through. 3 of them still around here. There is the one on the other side. Rats on the side here, trying their best as well. As this push actually might even make it all the way through. Needs to get the zone here within 3.5 minutes. As BO-105's under fire. Stingers pushing with the whole tank formation. Like, great execution here right now. But too long of a downtime when you are the one that is getting ticked upon here. Most likely still. 14 minutes for 1,700 points. That's gonna be really tough. You can do it if you get into the rear zone, but Liszek should be able to get some reinforcements in here. M110 of his. He has lost an M110 somehow. Not quite sure what happened there. No, that's a dead plane. Okay. Yeah, Phantom goes down. Leo 2 here. Leo 1's. It might still work out for SBG. Liszek needs to hold on to this. And yeah, the tank push here is well executed. SBG with a fantastic push this time around. And this time around, there is no new wave of reinforcements big enough for holding him off here from Liszek. Jaguar getting another shot out here in the center. So the north is still well established. Getting in there is not going to be easy. MR10 routes one of the Leos. That's a good shot there as well. And the rear zone is still decently safe here. And even the rear zone only will work out if he gets it in the next 2 minutes. And that means he has to move now here. SBG that is. And he is not really moving decisively there. So 2 new Leo 2A3 would be able to hold out in the rear here for 2-3 minutes. And hold off the enemy for just long enough that even capture of the rear zone alone wouldn't be enough. Then that would mean moving north at the same time as holding the rear. So that will be really tough as well. And yeah, in the end, Mega Aufklärer here holding the line as well. SBG having to push like this because he is under such time pressure, but losing his ATGM units as well. And yeah, Liszek holding the line here. Smoke coming around. Hog moving forward. Whilst we see commandos trying to get it towards the enemy. Jaguars holding the line with the defensive ATGMs. Tons of canners moving forward. As we have MR10 going after the 2 Jaguars in the center. And yeah, smoke play is coming up. A lot of infantry is coming up. But it is not moving directly there. If the smoke mortars, it actually should just move directly there. Smoke mortars are actually a bit out of range here right now. And it's already dissipating again. Oh, went the HE bomber. Okay, actually doesn't get that much. But the CVs are not in the rear zone yet. It's 11 minutes now. And they would need to be in there right now to make the difference. So with them not being there, that means this needs to be taken and something else on the map as well. And without the smoke mortars, it's gonna be tough. Get through here as well. Commandos slowly moving forward. Commando CMG as well. But slow is not what you need here right now as SBG. We have a good couple more reinforcements here, all going into the south. Something should start to move north as well here. Trying to figure out what's actually going on up there. So that you can maybe get a CV up there as well. +6, potentially +8. Could still swing this, but yeah, it's highly unlikely with the amount of reinforcements also once more now allowed to get in here into the rear. And the M110 salvo here, fantastic. Stopping the enemy in its resupply. And even getting the Hawk helicopter there on the ground whilst reloading. So stopping the pushing power here completely from the tanks for the next couple of minutes again. And SBG just doesn't have minutes here. Fallschirmführer pretty sneaky here as well. Could come around. Getting the capture on the zone as well. Lots of smoke is coming around in big enough numbers to stop the enemy from easily. Yeah, smoke coming up now that the move should be possible, but there is enough behind that it hold of the zone at least should be possible here. Liszek should bring up the CV. There is no CV down here. Like a CV in the corner here to at least contest it. And the enemy brings in a CV. As CV is actually a target here now of the artillery. But yeah, SBG is waiting too long. 9 minutes, not enough time. As he waited too long in the south as well. With the earlier engagements, and now loses one of the command units as well. He's trying to move around the flank here, but this is all way too slow, way too late. As NATO HE, he is flying behind everything. NATO IDS coming around with another bombing run here. There we go. And firebolts put the Layer 2s out of commission for a while again. And yeah, that's all Liszek needs here at this point. GG not giving up yet, but he's at 0 points. 8 minutes remaining. He would need quite the tick to get there. He wants more smokes up, but Liszek knows what's up, has reinforced this point massively. He's finally bringing in a CV as well to get that zone contested. And now, yeah, all the infantry here is rolling up towards the smoke. There's still a Jaguar up north as well. Everything is going here now for SBG. The Jaguars are fantastically well set up. Commandos here now moving forward. YPR is moving forward. Everything is going to try to get in there, together with the smoke around it. As first couple of ATGMs fly around. YPR gonna get involved here against the Jaguar. Jaguar doesn't even spot it. And will get taken out. Like, these fights still might go pretty well for SBG, but he just doesn't have the time. He would need a +6 by now. Soon a +8. And for that he would need to take the whole map. Infantry breaking through. Everything pushes in. Massive kills on both sides now that the smoke starts to dissipate again. As the M110s just try to shoot up the enemy here as well. But yeah, push goes through, Layer 2's dying, Panzer Grenadiers dying, everything goes down. The tank hunters and Trails got the martyrs here. Bombing runs from the tornadoes hitting it all. Like, this is a massive big fight. If it would have come 5 minutes earlier, then this would be really, really crucial right now. But with the time remaining, it just isn't. There is just not enough time to get the points necessary. Leo 2s blowing up the Nantres. Panzer Mörser trying their best here. Leo 1 CV about to go down, a couple of units moving in. The Commando CMG here is the one that makes it in. The other one might make it in as well, but no move to the north. F-16 going around. Leo 3 trying to even kill the CV here. That cluster will finish it off. Another cluster will finish off the next one. The KD here will be likely pretty favorable now for SBG in the end. Killing off some planes there as well. About to just push through, but KD is not what this game is about. And yep, Jägerfleur going down. The 3 leader soon to go down as well, with all the infantry here smoking heavily. NATO AA trying to get in. Nighthawk gets involved, gets some hit. The Leo 3 leader desperately disengaging. All the infantry follows them around. Martyrs fighting around as well. As all the vehicles get through the smoke now. Smoke clearing up as well, so all the infantry AT can fire here in a second and can finish off the job. There we go. More red units dying. The O2s will clear up the martyrs as well. It will be a massive KD victory here in the last couple of seconds, but this won't save SBG. Cluster bomber coming around from the other side. He just pushed too late. Gets that cluster bomber killed. Geppards, Eyehawks. All of those units here dying. Leotoy B on the other side goes down as well though, so Martyrs even might be holding the line here for now. Nantres come around, HE bomber. Likely will have some good hits there as well. Decent damage. Actually not that great. With AT planes coming around as well, and yeah, this will be it. 3.5 more minutes, and +4 would need 8 or so. So we can just fast forward at this point because SBG will keep on fighting here, but he can't get a victory. Trying to move a CV in north, but even a +8 wouldn't save him at this point. He just waited for too long. Liszek didn't even move his CV in here right now, which could have reduced that further. Leo 2A3 tried to get in, gets murdered, but keeps up the pressure and gets the W in the end. Liszek going up 1-0. And in the end, SBG up 2 minutes of kills, basically. Minutes of income in kills. So not even that far, because he had to overpush there a bit as well. But yeah, he just completely misplayed the map. Like, first his helicopter movement going the wrong direction, kinda. Then just staying stationary. And Liszek did exactly what was necessary win condition wise to get through. And with that, got the 1-0 lead in the series. Let's see if he can get the second game as well. If we remember, that one will be a bit of an oft one. Because SBG got to Rhine by random. Gonna be Mount River against 27th, so not an easy matchup here for SBG either. Let's see if he can make it work, or if Liszek gets a 2-0 win. Quick break, guys. Then we're gonna be back with potentially the final map of the day. Maybe the second to last one. Acoustic? They look pretty decent. Like, considering for what the Danish have available. Yeah, making 2 divisions out of them is kind of the maximum, most likely. And the 2 that we get look pretty solid. Like, some interesting fun stuff in there. And yeah, excited to see how they will play out with the infantry mixes and so on. And while, like the air taps as well, getting some Swedish planes. So here we return, game number 2, and we are on the map Mount River. There we have GG hanging around Division du Rhine. Gonna be interesting to see what he can do with them, seeing as that wasn't his game plan here, but he kinda messed up and got forced into it, whilst Liszek playing 27th, a division that has shown a good couple of times that it can play this map pretty well, but it's not unbeatable on it. It's a good mechanized division. Solid, heavier equipment with the T-80s. BTR-80s as transports for some of your units are nice as well. Good amount of BMP-2s and the modernized BMP-3s. And with the Tor and the Strela 10M3. Decent AA options as well. Not the best air tap. And then a couple of Heinz and the helicopter tap. So, should be interesting against the French-German reservist mix here on the left side. And yeah, before we jump in, really quick shout out once more to the Metrorino page where you can assist in crowdfunding the tournament. And all you have to do is clicking the claim code button up here at 25 cents, like Psycho Galtis did here as the latest. Thanks there, Psycho, for being such a loyal viewer and loyal supporter of the channel and the tournaments in general. And yeah, nice to see a good couple of new faces today as well. In general, WARNO doing well. Highest player numbers in nearly a year. And yeah, and good patches. Like a couple of bugs as always that hopefully get squashed. It was a pretty big patch from Eugen's behind the scenes thing. They restructured the files so that the game is now 20 GB smaller. Only went from 75 GB to 55 GB, which is pretty impressive. But obviously, yeah, with a lot of changes like that, you sometimes also create some weird mishaps. Yeah, but with hotfix, hopefully soon we get rid of the couple of smaller annoying issues, like some LGBs not working and so on. Yeah. In the north here, we have some Germans, German Jägers with Carl Gustav. In the Fuchs, we have some M47 with dozer plates. So a pretty solid force to push up here. And I believe that's a good idea. Like, get enough around to hold Anna, okay, or give up Anna. Playing Olga and Sign, that could be an idea as well. Okay. Have no idea where this is from. Where's shots goes, I have tear shots. This cheer captain, I'm on the bleachers. Is that the modern skater girl? Is that the modern day skater girl that I'm too old for? Darius, obviously, guys. Okay, don't know. But seems like Liszek is ready, waiting for an SBG, but that's also easier with 27th because your units are more expensive. You don't have to bring down that many units. Lyrics wise, that sounds like the one day Skater Girl. And yeah, we have reservist Zappers moving around. Or teenage dirtbag. 120 millimeters. Mortars getting in there as well. Trying to get the smoke up. And yeah, gonna be interesting to see how SBG can handle the Durine. If he finally can get the division some wins. Oh, and yeah, how he will approach the map. As I said, I'm playing around this triangle here. That could work out. Making it around these forests. Like trying to capture this forest can be pretty powerful. As we have smoke coming in from Liszek here. We have smoke mortars coming in from the other side as well. Svetka getting away into the center. As the Alouette gets forced back. AML9 moving around. And yeah, SBG now moving some units to the south. Still realizing that the enemy hasn't figured out that he has nothing there. So might get away with it. Needs to win the center though. Like this engagement here needs to work out. MP2 smoking off. Milan vehicles might want to disengage. Oh no, losing some units in transport there. A couple of GR2000s emptily being hit, but the ones in the north not being empty, so that's not a good start here. He's playing around with a lot of smoke. The Milan vehicles did disengage. One of them gets killed here. Milan 2 over here being smoked off. Means that it can't engage, and Liszek pushing back the Alouette. But there are a few red units dying so far. Petrod red guy here in the middle, still alive with the BTR-80. Sportpanzer Fuchs from the north, trying to get some kills, but it's not really working out. The Reservist Sappers, one of the few TNT and AT normal infantry units, or in this case even Reservist, like, which is pretty solid. BMP2 now under fire as the smoke mortar action does continue. The M47's now trying to rotate in, but their infantry already has been massacred in front of them. So BMP3s and so on, like clearing this out, still obviously important. Can't push up all the way north, which is obviously pretty annoying. That's what these M47s were supposed to do, but they need to win the center. CV at least captures the south, and reinforcements might arrive in time. But we have MX-13s with 20mm cannons, your makeshift IFV basically here. Coming around, have 3 frontal armor, which actually might be a bit high. Like, this thing actually might not... but, yeah, will get you some 20mm autocannons into the middle. The reservists are hers, beating the Rachvetka. Will be able to get the Special Rachvetka here most likely as well. When they get to use their TNT, 30mm grenade gun, also decent fire support. Yeah, stun gets out. BTRs and PMPs getting pushed back, so this decent bit of room has been won, and the southern units here now arriving in time as well. To that, Jäger Carl Gustav, thanks to the reservists, should be able to deal with the Special Rachvetka. The light vehicle's getting too close though, losing an AML-90 like that. That's not great. As there is a 30mm grenade launcher behind us now as well, so the Carl Gustav will get pushed back. 30mm grenade launcher, nice unit, but can't hold out. At least kills the MTLBU, so no capture there for the red team, but no capture for the blue team here in the middle right now either. CV should come on from the north into the center. You need to get a tick up here as soon as possible. We have a MiG-27 HE bomber coming around here with 4 500kg bombs to wreak some havoc. PTR 80 in the middle goes down, but Milan 1 in the south gets got as well. Oh, Reservist Perry might go too deep. Yeah, does go too deep. Second one coming out. Not quite sure what the MiG-27 was trying to hit here. Did miss it, but the momentum that the Rhine wants to have in these matchups is not quite there. Milan will get the BTR. There is a bit of space early on, and the south is at least holding out a bit, but Lamia is a problem. MiG-27 will hit decently well. Reservists up hers, keep on spamming in. More and more of them entering the battlefield all around. And yeah, the autocannons here gonna be quite important, but no ATGM teams here right now in the middle. Some of those, like a Milan 2, to get around here to deal with the BMPs, pushing them back, so that your dozers can push closer and then finish them off close. Like stuff like that, that's just not happening right now. And it seems like Liszek at the same time is starting to win in the south here. CV finally is coming in and will be able to move around, but at the same time, the southern force here in need of assistance. We already have the Nonna here being annoying. BMP2s in high enough numbers to give good fire support, and with the northern push not working, with the southern situation being what it is, and with the center engagement being so mediocre, the Rhine is in trouble. Like, this is going to be a hard position to fight out of. As we have the Nona engaging 2 Tors coming up, which will shoot down the sky. As the 2 Tors moving through the front line. Motostralki Comradi is moving in, will get to take up to a +2 for now. Oh no, SBG even selling his transport here. Should keep this TRM 2000 around to move in from the north, get the capture in the middle. That's Fox Milan holding in the south. And yeah, my voice is about to die, so I have to keep it as low as possible right now, as I used it quite a lot the last couple of days. Plus also, I don't want to keep my white neighbors and my roommate awake either. And yeah, it's why we have to voice a bit down right now. M48s and dozers moving around to the south. We'll try to get fire support here. There is not that much against them if they move quickly, but for that they would need a bit of infantry reinforcements coming at least with the second wave, because the one that they currently have on the front line here likely won't survive. If they get that, then this might actually still be some potential here. MiG-27 coming around with a bombing run for the Milan 1. Getting out afterwards. Whilst Sirs move around in the center. CV finally grabbed the transport again. Is now finally moving in to stop the take, but you would have needed a take here for already as SBG giving up the first 9 minutes and being behind 300 points in this matchup. That's obviously not the position you want to be in here. Well, I also increased the input, so I shouldn't be that quiet. Like Stream Labs says, I'm around the same volume that I'm usually at right now. Just obviously bolstered up. And yeah, dozers moving around here. More 20 coming from the flank as well. The Eyehawk trying to catch the MiG-27s, but like this has to work. This has to actually do something. This doesn't do anything, then I believe SBG is pretty cooked, because then more of these guys can roll on and he has nothing to deal with them in numbers. Like 1 or 2 he maybe can overcome. Once they are 3 or 4, he's cooked. So he has to move now. He has to get some action going and push on. The infantry is just coming a bit late though. This Eyehawk should have been the infantry. If there would be infantry here right now, that then could be here when the tanks are here, then he would have a shot of pushing, but with the rotation going around here, with the T-80 closing in already, with another MiG-27 HE coming around, and so on, it's hard to see how this will work. If he would be pushing right now in the north maybe as well, then yeah, okay. Maybe. MiG-27 getting away with murder here away, killing the CV. At least it got the capture. But 400 points down. This is not looking good. There's moving around. But it's 7.6mm MGs coming around the battlefield here everywhere. Smoke mortar getting around. Trying to set something up, but you don't really have the infantry to follow this up either. So yeah, SBG is just kinda stuck here now. Not able to do much without kinda anything. And just waiting for the enemy to come around against him. And the enemy doesn't really need to do much here right now. Like, can wait another, like, you don't even have to attack right now. It's Liszek, and you can just wait another 10-15 minutes, get 2 more T-80BVs, get maybe another AA piece, 2 BMP2s into the north to really secure that as well. And then you can just run over anything that is in your way here. Push now trying to come up with some smoke mortar action. Dozers getting around a bit. There's too much AA for any plane action against T-80BVs. And you just don't have anything that can penetrate them frontally. And the map is too narrow for outflanking them. I still really wish there would be a road up here between these 2 bridges, so that you could use this part of the map, and the roads on the left side would go a bit deeper into the forest, so that it would be a bit faster to move through there as well. But Yeah, the way it is currently, the space here is pretty limited. The only way to use this here is for helicopters a bit, and for aircraft to sneak into the rear, which is nice, but there should be a bit of a sneaky infantry way of doing things as well. Would make the map a bit more interesting. Because it is pretty inefficient to move stuff through here still, just from the distance. But yeah, infantry now moving forward here for SBG. Plus, the bridge is a insane chokehold, like bottleneck as well. So as long as you protect your bridge decently well, enemy shouldn't be able to do much. But yeah, M47 setting around. Infantry pushing forward. 7.6mm MG getting under fire. MiG-27 at least gets shut down, as it is killing Fliegerfaust, so that's not a worthwhile bombing run. That's something good. The smoke play here is interesting, but you need side shots to actually kill stuff. And 48s, they can do some damage here against the 30mm, which is nice to get rid of them. But to deal with the TDBVs, you need something more. First dozer here already going down. The Shvedka under fire. The clears at least doing decent stress against the TDBV. Get back a bit, BRM goes down, M48s did their best. TV got the capture, got the +2 with brute force. And trades here so far okay, with the smoke and all. But that's all with one TADBV on the other side and 4 or 5 BMPs. And if that number goes a bit more up, and it's soon to be 2 TADBVs, which is double the number of TADBVs, that's already getting to be a good bit tougher. Helicopter here. Nuisance as well, with the Fliegerfaust down. Fliegerfaust kill actually doing something here after all. The military AAPs trying to get around the forest here, but being pushed slowly. And the dozers, they don't have any smoke, so yeah, being at ATGM range is the worst thing that can happen to them. MP3 here, hitting them hard. ATGMs from the other side might hit the BMP3, no, failed to do so. TDBV getting involved as well. Milan wants here in range against the BMP3 and against the TADBV. So they deal a bit of damage, but only 1 damage per hit. Milan one's not really that efficient in this fight. Smoke mortars will try to set up more smoke. They have been slacking a bit for a while now. Recon units not around. Get the BRDM Conquerors, as it was out in the open. Whilst Milan 1 does go down over here to the artillery. Infantry not really that numerous, has to be brought up again. The smoke mortars trying their best, but no artillery fire support coming from the rear to assist them further. And yeah, too many blue units dying without any big successes. +2 here is nice, but that's still 23 minutes. Whilst we have more BMP2s coming up. We have MiG-27 flying in again. Okay. Blue side by now has attritioned over the last couple of minutes a decent bit of units here as well. So pushing just like the one that got back into the zone once more to get into the next zone is highly unlikely. Let's see more chasseurs coming up with LRACs. What's here pushing forward? Jaeger, Carl Gustav, they can move on here. Deal decent damage against vehicles, but they won't get any kills. Whilst dozers pushed back. Milan 1 does go down. Artillery hits the Fuchs Milan as well. No artillery on the other side here. Nighthawk is set up to deal with the MiG-27s, but the artillery already doing a lot of work here. The Acacias with the guided ammunition. We haven't seen them in a while, but they got price buffed from 260 to 230. They are at a decent price point now. They actually do a pretty decent job here. Chasseurs bringing some 20mm autocannons again. you would need some crazy smoke micro to actually be able to push with all of this. As we have auto mirror, which is just a mobile 125mm howitzer. No auto loader or so on it. So just a normal artillery piece. Actually, relatively bad artillery piece for 155mm with the 3 rounds per minute on the lower end of things. And yeah, the smoke mortar is here now, trying to set up again, but once more units here dying on the other side. MiG-27 got shut down at least, so all of them out of it for now. There is a bit of setup for a northern push, but BMP3 has been brought up here. And this defensive line looks relatively solid. Maybe some aircraft could do something in the north. There's only one Strela there. That could be maybe throwing Liszek a bit off guard. If you could break through the north, that would be big, but you would need to maneuver in with a lot of units. So taking some risks here, like that maybe might be it. Sending a couple of planes together with some recon and then a good couple of mechanized forces in here. Maybe even trying to get into this forest where you then can threaten the reinforcements back here. Like some shenanigans like that you would need if you would want to have a shot. So just trying to grind around smoke in the south like this is just not working out. It's doing okay. It's having okay successes for now, but still 20 minutes to go, and the red bulge is just, the red force is just getting bigger and bigger here. And Blob soon will be able to just shoot down the enemy completely with just the pure firepower of the BMP2s and the AMXs, the T-80s, which the MX-13s and Skull can't really hold up against. TDBV towards the center here. Together with the amount of autocannons can just go absolutely ham. TDBV nearly running out of fuel here. Should get refueled. That would be really annoying losing it because it runs out of fuel. As chasseurs try to push around the flank again. Dozers maybe could follow. But yeah, a bit of a lack of movement here out of SBG. Obviously not an easy matchup, not the matchup you wanted, but currently also not really following up on the game plan he needs to actually succeed here. He might get ahead in points with the CV moving in here, so that might get him a bit further, but he is still a good bit behind when it comes to trades right now. And a lot of AMX-13s here coming in with the ATGMs, but they are not that great down south. Like a wall of them here in the center, that would be interesting. A wall of them in the north, holding up against these reinforcement roads, that could be interesting. I don't believe you want them in the south, actually. Don't think they're gonna do much there. So, yeah, CV gets in here, about to take the zone. Well, it's BTR-80 gauging the chasseurs. ADBV getting involved as well. Elan 1 starting against the BMP2, forcing a smoke there, keeping the situation stable. SBG is now ahead in points. Has achieved that. So that's at least a small little success that gives some hope. But he paid for it with only blue units dying. His smoke follow-up here in this coming way too late. Not really counting in for the amount of time that it takes to travel. So he fired right as his units got shot up. He should have fired before that. So smoke now lands as all his units behind the smoke wall are already dead. And there's 3 here getting closer. MX-13s now getting around. But ADBV can pick them apart. Doesn't quite one-shot them on this range, with this small small hope, but the 19 penetration missile of them not really gonna do it here either. MP2 being another target, but yeah, Jaegers and Chasseurs not really dealing here either. Good couple of them dying. It's not the MX-13 plop. Like, maybe they could have even pushed through here, but this is the least useful spot to have the MX-13s right now in this fight. Highhawk engaging Mi-24Vs really directly, getting one kill, might get another one here. Doesn't, and is forced to fall back there. Doesn't want to get hit by artillery, but yeah, good couple of blue units here dying for it as well. No CV moving in right now, so he gets ahead with 150 points now. That's not a big lead though with the amount of points available in the center. With +4, that's about a minute. And recon units here in the middle going down as well. No MX-13s there. Like the new heavy ATGM spam for the open field here. Not quite materializing. Heavy 55-point unit ATGM's wall spam. Well, it's points ticking up. Artillery getting around again for the Motostrelki. MP2 under fire. But yeah, getting any kills here currently with just fighting frontally when the other side has the more survivable units that can take a shot and disengage, whilst your units mostly blow up in the first shot. Like, that's not a successful game strategy when the enemy doesn't have to completely commit. Like, you either have to flank your enemy so that you can get some side shots that actually land kills, or you have to push your enemy into a point where they have to keep staying in the engagement with their units so that you can actually attrition them away. But with the repair mechanic in WARNO, just dealing some damage against some BMP3s, just dealing some damage against the TDBV, but losing some of your units is just, in the long run, throwing units away. Doesn't give you anything. Damage doesn't give you anything long term in the game because it can be fully repaired. But you will lose units for achieving that, so in the long term you basically use units for achieving nothing. And that's kind of what happened here. By now, the amount of TADBVs and BMPs here just likely a bit too much, and it can maybe just now rotate towards the center and do it there. AMXs getting picked apart, Chasseurs not really having the spotting capability here to see all of this. There maybe should have been a CV, a recon unit in this building block here. Chasseurs push forward. Yeah, we see another big push here. RCL get around. AMXs pushing forward. They don't have a stabilizer, so need to stop. We have Medis on the other side. We have RPG-27s on the other side, so this push is going to have a tough time. Oh, we have Static push, Liszek pushing in the north. That is not optimal. And he now has to consider where to move with his tanks again. He tries to go for the center now. He's going for the center now. Tanks there are in a bit of trouble. Oh, no AA around. No bombers around either. Whilst SBG is trying to go for the southern fight here, but a lot of his units dying again. Jaegers, AMX-13s, gets a couple of Motostrelkis now killed off here, but the BMP2s and BMP3s behind all of this are still alive. BMP3 fantastic here, because it one-shot kills the AMX-13s, and it's firing faster at them than they fired it. Oh, the Jägeraufklärer needs to unload. Okay, gets around. Can help out with some kills here. Needs to do so, because if the middle falls, then SBG is in a tough spot. And he doesn't have a CV down here. Oh no. CV now coming on the way. Cluster bomber. Alpha jet clusters. Double tapping. One of them is enough for T80. He should have went for two of them. He could have gotten two there. That he got through is big. but he didn't quite exploit it enough. And the T80BVs keep on moving, keep on smoking, keep on dealing with stuff. Couple of BMP2 AGs going down as the ATGMs here flying around as well. Milan 2 trying to do its damage, but Liszek is getting into the middle. The units there of SBG having a tough time, and his units in the south crashing in here as well and trying their best, but most of the armored vehicles here are somewhere burned out as well. All the MX-13s dead on the field, as the BMP-2s and Conquerors did a decent enough job on the defense. As CV is on the way, MX-13s are on the way for the center as well, but it's all a bit late. And CV, ADBV on the way to the center here. MX-13s die in droves again. The recon BMP-2s going down, but the kill feed is all blue. Yes, the blue units are cheaper, but he didn't really get any of the valuable units. If he would have gotten all the T-80s by now, like, yes, there might be hope. But with the T-80s still being alive and providing great stoppage power, there is just no way to get around here. So the MX-13's now engaging. And yeah, the smoke play down south, first time around, actually was pretty effective, but there needed to be a pivot away from that. Maybe towards AMX-13 walls in the middle, maybe towards some shenanigans in the north. Obviously the Rhine, hard division to play, and not the planned division to play here for SBG. But in the end, Liszek will likely get game number 2 here as well. +2 is up here for a second, but T80BVK is now rolling into the middle, getting the capture point on here. And with that, starts to throw the tick around. And T80BV there goes down, being routed. Yeah, stuff like this, like you, with some weird fighting around the edge, you can do some good stuff. But you can't just go head on against T80BVs and expect to live. They're just gonna get you. Milan 2 will fight the BRDM. So, yeah, it was Liszek's game to lose, and he played well enough to not lose it. Like, SBG tried with some solid micro here, but the matchup is a tough one, and you need to make it weirder than this. Can't approach it like this and try to get away with it. You have, and the early game already, like, it was a good opener here from Liszek, really setting up the tone for this. Cluster Bomber finds the kill. As I said, one is enough, so if the other one would have gotten for another T80BV, that would have been nice, but it likely wouldn't have mattered either. And now the +3 here. Coming around, BO helicopters against Force with 3000 meter anti-helicopter range. Not gonna make a difference either. Alpha Jets coming around with another cluster bomber run. Like, you have toys like that. If you would have forced the enemy to spread out a bit more and caught them, for example, in the north, then it could have been some great successes. Yeah, FOF currently not really working out. That's another issue for the division. But in the end here, interesting play from SBG, but a really solid play from Liszek, and that Liszek will move towards the semifinal here, as the +4 is about to get him ahead in points, and there's just nothing SBG has around that can threaten that point lead. Like, he maybe can get it to stop the take here at some point in the center, but his cluster bomber shenanigans now is down as well. The Tors move around for the BOs and get the first one with an AoE kill. Tor actually went down. No, oh no, has to move around. Shoot again. Next one goes down. Moving in for the next one. And yeah, once more, only blue units dying. With that, it is GG. And with that, SBG gets eliminated here, and Liszek will move on to the semifinal in Division 2. So GGVP. And yep, clear 2-0. First game, really solid defense. Second game, really playing to the strengths of the divisions and to the weaknesses of SBGs. A bit unfortunate with the pick and ban tool. Lesson learned there, hopefully, for SBG to use the pause to actually find where the division you want to pick is, and then press ready, and then pick that. Yeah, but well played here by Liszek nonetheless. We're gonna cover the other Division 2 games later the week, maybe tomorrow, depending on how my voice holds up. Seeing how it is currently cracking, I'm not 100% optimistic that it is fully back tomorrow. But at the latest, at Wednesday, we're gonna cover more WARNO League. And yeah, then maybe both Division 2 and some more Division 4 games as well. And yeah, for sure gonna try to go through as many quarterfinals as possible till the end of the week. Hopefully cover them all so that we can next week go into the semifinals. And yeah, MJ player versus 3-6 and bottom feeder, aka guard extremes versus Tata Boy here. Being the other quarterfinals should be good matches as well of veteran players. And yeah, with that said, thanks for watching here today, guys. We're gonna end it here. I'm gonna send you over to our friend the Randowski. So thanks for watching and see you all in the next one. He's playing some Tactical Preach Wizard, which should be quite fun as well.